I would like you to meet Brianna Berry, Owen Gah, Tegan Thibodeau, and Brielle Joslin. And they are from Catherine Robinson, Stephanie Boyd, and Kayla Stickney's class, who are all in second grade. Would you guys like to get started?
And you are?
My name's Freya. My name's Owen. We are second grade at Humphrey River Elementary School. We want to tell you that we spend time together in the classroom. For example, we learned in Miss Robinson's second grade class. Miss Stickney's class, and we team up with Miss Ford's kindergarten class. Is I am in the fourth kindergarten. Team up with Miss Stickney. Also, as a second grader, it made me feel like I was a role model for my younger students at Aspen. Now I'm feeling excited with the happy that I can see her at school. I'm going to do this. They make me happy that I can help them. I've been able to have them playing. I really
What's going on?
Really like to hit me. I'm excited for season. Our two classes read a book about careers. We then asked and answered questions together about solving our favorite books. It's one of the students kind of fun hanging out and getting to know. And maybe even having a real together about calling. When we look forward to getting to know more kindergarten experience. I'm excited to be designer and we are going to do more things such as field day and other activities where we can meet partners and more. This is a special activity for our school.
Thank you very much. So you know that team time is new to our school this year. And so once every month we have whole school meetings, which is our entire school getting together. And we have team time, which is when third grade gets together with first grade or second grade gets together with kindergarten. And it's two classrooms that pair up together and they have activities together. And in fact, tomorrow is team time again. And we'll have team time. And so we do it, and then it pairs up, that same pair meets all throughout the year. And then at the end of the year, those teams will be field day teams. They've had time to get to know each other and build. So do you have any questions?
Questions? Joe? So what's your favorite part of teen time?
My favorite part of teen time is joining with kindergarten. Mine is that I get to join together and that I get to hang out.
Us? All right, thank you very much.
Great.
Thank you.
So hard, so I'm very proud. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Amy, I'll send you a picture. Public? A non-public session?
I'll make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A:3, Roman numeral 2B.
Second.
Second by Steve, discussion? Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Beth?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. non-public.
I will second.
Second by Steve. Discussion? Steve,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Beth?
Yes.
Stuck. Next, where are we here? Recognition. For homeschool high honors. Does anyone read this list off?
Please. All right, I gotta just bring it up. All right, so this is the 25-26 middle school first trimester high honors. For grade 6, we have Haley Cronin, Cora Ham, Corinne Hansen, Riley Noyes, Emily O'Connor, and Victor Peralt. For grade 7, we have Ryan Bauer, Hannah Bronson, Emma Brown, Juliana Burley, Jacayla Caswell, Camille Coakley, Adam Cronin, Alexa Strapo, Garrett Ennis, Molly Ennis, Arden Gafford, Jackson Gartley, Colton Irving, Alexis La Rochelle, Peyton Liam Bruno, Eva Maldonado, Olivia Mitchell, Brooke Narrow, Sophie Nee, Anthony Otero, Ella Pikowski, Olivia Scarfo, Emily Stackhouse, Chloe Sutton, Cheyenne Thomas, Abigail Unger, Zachary Wenzel, and Bradley Woods. And for grade 8, Branson Ankowitz, Isabella Bork, Zoe Darling, Julia Fawcett, Keegan Harris, Jace Hinson, Lola Kelly, Hadley Luquette, Jacoby Luquette, Alexander Marsters, Gavin McManus, Caleb Robinson, Vincent Rothwell, Cameron Slakovsky, Amelia Small, Andrew Tilton, and Thomas Waterhouse. So nice, huge list. Congratulations to all of the first trimester high honors recipients.
Congratulations. Yes. And Colton Irvin. He's one of the first ones you met.
Hi.
Walking to the elementary school. Congratulations to all of them. Students. We're going to open public input. Anyone for public input? Leave that open. Lamprey River Elementary and student rep. Oh, student rep. Sorry, I mean,
Pulling a jump.
ooh, I almost skipped over. Harmon, please.
So I come bearing, I guess, good news, I guess. In the high school, there was a Clue, game, obviously the board game. So I want to thank, Mr. Danable, Mr. Brazo as Mr. Wadsworth, the butler, Thomas Hanskin, as playing Colonial Mustard, Samantha Dean as Mrs. Peacock, Jillian Cassavant as Mrs. White, and Layton Sackos as Professor Plum. And basically the plot was that,
Did you mention this was a cast?
oh yeah, and Mr. Lacasse helped out. And the the plot was that the butler saw something, but he couldn't say, he saw something concerning, but he couldn't say what it was. So he made up these riddles and he couldn't say because of the butler code. So he made up these riddles that the students had to figure out. And over the course of like a week, the students were able to figure them out and get some prizes. And the winner of the big prize was Avery Dean. So congratulations to her. I don't know if you guys want to read the script, but the ending was, let me spoil the ending for you guys. The ending was it was just Professor Plum was being really weird, but he just wanted to bake everybody something good. Well, he just wanted to bake
And these were sent around it was all electronic each day. And whoever got their fact first won a prize. Is that the gist of it?
No. So it was all electronic, but some clues had to be, you had to walk around the school to find out some of the clues. Like there were some pictures around the school. And the principal, out of the people who got the answers correct, he would draw randomly from a hat and they would get prizes. And the final grand prize was won because either they were the closest to what actually happened or they had the most creative answer. What actually happened.
What was the final prize?
So the final prize was a gift card to, I'm pretty sure, to the movies. And along with some of her friends, she was also able to pick some of her friends to get some gift cards.
Cool.
They haven't done that. I don't think they've done.
No,
Oh, that's,
it was,
there,
yeah, it was nice. I was actually there the day that announcements were made. A number of students came up and got to pick some prizes from a basket. And they actually had the old fashioned ice cream Suzy Q or whatever they were, Christmas trees, frosted Christmas. I was like, oh man, all I could do not to reach in there, grab one and relive my 7th grade again, but I didn't.
so was a participation level, like a lot of people into it?
So there was an average of 80 responses per day.
I mean,
Quarter of the population.
that's pretty good.
I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who was involved again, because that was a lot of work. That's not even including like all those pages, not even including the riddles, nor the audio logs that was given out. So the principal, Mr. Lacasse, everyone involved, putting on a show, dressing up sometimes. So I really do appreciate that. And I can speak for the whole student body that they appreciate that too as well.
Anything else? That's it. That's it. All right, thank you. All right, now. Principals reports. Chris, give anything else? Happy River Elementary and Aber Homes, Aber Homes. Good evening. Evening, folks.
We have successfully made it through our first trimester at Ever Homeschool Middle School.
It's amazing how fast time goes. We just started.
True, right? It's true.
Jeez,
It's,
getting old, man.
I'd say this is my 3rd year as principal of the middle school, and I'd say this year has probably been the start to the year. I think one of the benefits is that we are, for the most part, almost fully staffed, which hasn't been the case the last few years. I think that's really made a difference. It's made a difference in programming. It's made a difference in morale, people, duties. Yeah, we've done all of our usual beginning of year opening events. Our sports teams are up and running. Our clubs are up and running. We've had a lot of student activities. We had a fun assembly in the beginning of the year with BMX bike, where they came in and spin the tricks and talked about different ways to live your life healthy and living passionately. Some of the things I want to highlight for this year that we did a little bit different. One of them is Red Ribbon Week. So historically, Red Ribbon Week has been 1 week, and we packed a lot into 5 days. Red Ribbon Week the theme is to live substance free. And it's a national initiative. This year, through conversations with RCFY and with our counseling staff, we decided to try 1 day a week for the whole month of October. When we debriefed that, we found kind of pros and cons to that. The pros were that that it did help kind of space out the event so that we had more time to talk to the students about what the point of Red Ribbon Week was. Instead of doing a school-wide assembly, we talked to everybody. We kind of broke it down grade by grade in the library. We had student presentations with RC and White present, and that was really amazing to see. I mean, it's wonderful when the students can take that role and they take the leadership initiative to be able to kind of speak to their peers about what's important and what we value as a community. And the adults are there kind of in the background to support and echo. We're still not sure if we're going to keep this model for next year. I think that the one thing that we noticed was kind of a con of doing it once a week was not everybody remembered the themes and it kind of felt a little bit disconnected. So we're still kind of mapping that out. Some other things, we had a new format for parent-teacher conferences this year. So we did a professional development day and we time shifted it. So from 12 o'clock PM to 7:30 PM, we had parents coming in every 15 minutes. So we did take some data on that for the numbers. So the number of parent-teacher conferences that were scheduled, we had 309. And so that could be sometimes the same parent that sees more than one teacher, like they saw their grade level teacher, then they met with their unified art teacher. But for the most part, most of those are individual students. We had about 265 of those show up. So that's about an 86% attendance rate of people that signed up and showed up. And we had some grades that couldn't fit all the parents even in with the extended day. And so we made additional parent-teacher meetings. So any parent that couldn't make it for whatever reason, we made time for them because we want to make sure each parent has an opportunity.
Before we go on.
Yeah.
On the parent-teacher conferences, do you have the numbers of like last year, how many we had?
So that's the thing is we really didn't keep the numbers the previous year. Yeah. So this year is new. So I got a spreadsheet now where I'm keeping track of it.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it was success in at least a few grades in there if you ran out of time.
Yeah. Because it used to be like a couple hours and now even with a 6-hour window. Like,
And did they go do teachers in groups or did they do individual teachers?
so some of our grades did individual, like grades 4 and 5 are individual teachers.
Yeah.
And then 6, 7, and 8 did the group model.
As well. So 309 were scheduled and the enrollment was 424. Can you give us a list of the schedules by grade? Like how many in each grade were?
I can break that down. Absolutely.
Yeah, Friday memo? Maybe, or at some point?
I don't have that on my fingertips.
No, I don't need it right now. I was saying that, I was saying Friday memo, but that might even be too
Just Friday.
early, but
Yeah, after the first.
yeah,
Friday memo's gonna be a little lame for the next 2 weeks.
yeah, so,
I'm glad you don't have that.
well, I mean, that's a lot of
Oh,
ones
yeah.
that didn't get scheduled, and I'm
just
curious,
saying
I mean, I
We've
could,
got a lot of stuff going on and.
thank you.
One last highlight I want to put is that we had a staff for students volleyball game and it was very close. And students did beat us. I'm going to say that we were just trying to make them feel good about themselves. And that the rubber match will be in February when we have the staff for students basketball game. So I prefer volleyball because you kind of just stand there when it's basketball and you got to run up and down the court. You start puffing and puffing, have to go out in the hall so they don't see me. We're still doing our school-wide assemblies. Our tier 1 team organizes them where we promote our school-wide values and we recognize students who exemplify those values. So the recipients for October are Reagan Lupian, Audrey Lamb, Christos Giannopoulos, Emily Stackhouse, and Mason Stransky. I want to give a shout out to the parent core group. They've done a really good job this year about investing in our school. So if you walk around our building right now, you'll see that there's lots of festive decorations up. not just in the teacher's lounge, but there's a whole tree and kind of almost like a little mini mural like out in the front. They've really helped just kind of find little ways to show appreciation to the staff, like raffles, finding ways to help student programming get up and running. They check in with me on a regular basis about what our needs are. We have ideas for them. They have ideas for us. So I think that I'm just really grateful that we have them. Some updates. So right now we are almost fully staffed. We recently had one math teacher resign, and we did a little bit of shuffling. And so we had that position filled, and we're in the process of filling the math lab position. If that's the case, if and when we hire someone, we'll be back to full strength again. Again, is something that I'm really appreciative and grateful for this year. We also welcomed a new music teacher. So we started the year where we were sharing Randy between the middle school and high school, and he was one teacher covering 2 positions. So we weren't able to offer music to all of our grades. And then in October, we hired Miss Andrea Burris, who came to us from the Newmarket School District. And since then, she has really transitioned into being the lead music teacher, band, and also taking over band and chorus. So tomorrow night, we have our band concert. So I expect to see a lot of students and parents there tomorrow night. And we'll get to see Miss Burris in her first public event since she's been hired. We're always short on subs. So if anybody's listening and you're looking for a part-time job, we'll take you. We'll take you even for a couple of hours a day if that's all you got. As far as our challenges, we still have a number of students that present with behavioral challenges. But when I look at the data compared to previous years, we keep moving in the right direction. So I don't think that a middle school will ever get to the point where we don't have behavior or discipline issues, but my hope is that it becomes manageable. Part of the reason why I think it's manageable is that we have a much more robust behavioral health response team. We now have 3 behavior coaches full-time in the building, and we have a rotating schedule where they are pushing into classrooms and being proactive for certain students on their caseload. And then if we have crisis, they're the first ones to respond. So like the first year, every time the radio was going off, Ms. Cunningham and I were kind of running to see what was going on. This year we still do if we need to, but it's nice where I can kind of wait and see if someone's going to respond on the radio. And almost every single time we have people that respond. And so that's helped a lot. This is our discipline data for the first trimester. So there's a lot of numbers here, but when I look at it anecdotally and when I compare it to previous years, we've had a slight reduction in referrals. And I'd say when I looked at it last compared to the previous year, it was almost a 20% reduction overall. And so we organize our discipline referrals into majors and minors. Our majors were a slight reduction, but it was our minors that had the most reduction. So that's something that we're still having conversations with teachers. We're still promoting practices like restorative practices. We have responsive classroom model where we really focus on being proactive and preventative in nature. So we have to rely less on reactive student behavior.
Sixth grade, high flying. I didn't get a chance to look back last year to 5th grade. Did they have a tough year last year too?
This is the next
known commodity.
So like my first year was 8th grade. That's now the sophomores. This is the next challenge.
Thank you.
And it's a larger group too than the other,
Yeah, and it's a big transition in 6th grade. So we've also had a lot of conversations about that. So, and some of
More
the
independence, right? Independence you're referring to?
For what?
More independence.
Yeah, so it's more, they have 5 different teachers. They need to have better executive functioning skills. They have to socially adapt to, like, instead of having the one group of students for 2 years, now they have different groups and they have different groups for each class.
Well, that's right. That's a combination of
Yeah, so there's a lot going
looping and
on.
then transitioning.
Yeah, and
Lamb.
Wow.
I think this year, our fifth grade team, we're gonna start doing some things in that third trimester where we're gonna start actually having the practice go from like classroom to classroom and do a couple of things just a little differently, just to get people used to it. The grading is different, so up until fifth grade, formatives aren't, they don't impact your grade. In sixth grade, those homework assignments do. And so again, we're looking at a way to try to promote like more practices where students are doing their homework and doing their formatives, because it can be a pretty big shock with all these changes at once. But
Sure.
in sixth grade year. Yes, I'm glad that you noticed the sixth grade numbers as well.
You said that overall it's a 20% reduction from last year
That's for the whole school
for the
overall.
whole school.
For honors and high honors, we've had a total of 78 students make honor roll, 52 students, which we just read, high honor roll, for a total of 130 students making honor roll, which I think is amazing. And then we have some upcoming events. We've had 3 bully complaints, 1 investigated at this point, 0 substantiated.
Questions? I have one question. The coffee hours, do we get anybody come to those or?
Oh, the Carla Bauer Hour. Yeah, so Carla's been the only person that's been coming.
Yeah.
So we still advertise it, I still have it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with it, but I was hoping that, people were starting to. But even the ones Terry had, it was just me and a couple other people, same people every time.
Are you going over the
Yes, do you want me to go over the data now, or do you want to?
You want to do it, Tone? What do you guys want to do? Excuse me.
Doesn't matter to me. Anyone have a preference?
Up to you.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it now, let's bang it out.
Right, so this slide looks at the school overall, so it gives us a snapshot of where students are in regards to their grade level proficiency. So as a reminder, the shaded green means that they are mid or above grade level. The regular green means that they are early on grade level. The yellow means that they're 1 grade level below. Red means that they're 2 grade levels below. Then the shaded red is 3 or more grade levels below. So the beginning of the year data is always going to look a little bit lower. We hope to raise those numbers throughout the year. And we can break it down grade by grade. So this also gives you kind of an idea of academically where each grade is at overall. So one thing that I will note is that our 6th grade has the highest discipline referrals and also has the lowest achievement right now for showing the time ready. So that's something that I'm going to be focusing on throughout the year.
I can see how those would kind of
They
coincide.
kind of hand in hand, yeah, because with more disruptive behaviors, there tends to be less ability in the classroom to stay on task. We also had a staffing change this year, and so in 6th grade as well.
So, and I know we've talked about this a lot, but I don't know who are maybe watching, but just for clarity, when we're looking at these colored bands, right? The expectation is these kids are coming in, essentially, if they're coming into 5th grade, they're almost expected to be a grade level behind because they're 4th graders coming to start 5th grade. So the expectation is they're starting at the bottom of the yellow because they haven't yet learned everything that is required in 5th grade. And at the end of 5th grade, they should be in the green somewhere, is what we're hoping.
That's exactly.
So because it says 1 grade level below, I just didn't want it to be sitting there that, we have this many kids who are behind. They're not. That's exactly where we expect them to be.
So yeah, 5th graders are getting assessed on 5th grade standards, having only completed 4th grade.
Correct.
So the goal is by the end of 5th grade, they'd be in the grade.
Yes, I always hated the way they did that because, again, if you're looking at like algebra, maybe they haven't done algebra yet, or they're just getting into it, so that is more yellow or red. But yeah, I was never a big fan of the color coding, the way that they do it. But
It's just a little deceiving.
yeah, it's on.
Yeah, the green. Says it's inexpensive. I think it's glass off so I can read it that small. Oh, you're on grade level. When did we take these tests? Be September or November?
I think it was the second week in September. So we had our first week of getting everybody settled. And week number 2, we jumped into it. So this is really like without any instruction.
I understand. That's what I was trying to remember as to, was it September, like I said, or later? Thank you.
I feel like historically that, I mean, if my memory, if I'm not mistaken, these are pretty good for September numbers.
So I'm going to jump a couple slides ahead because it compares the start of your data for the last 5 years. You can look at each grade. It just gives you a little bit more insight into the each domain. But this slide right here this is for reading.
What slide are you on?
I don't know what number it is. For 9.
Page 9.
Thank you.
Exactly the same.
And so it's comparison over the years, fall benchmark data. So this is for the last 4 years in September, when we do their initial assessment, this is where they've been popping up. And to me, these numbers look very consistent. Year after year, beginning of year data is almost the same. That we start with students with a certain percentage that are at or above grade level, or 1 grade level behind, or multiple grade levels behind.
Now, would it be safe to say that that's the same group of students just moving year to year? I mean, because it's hard to make up grades unless they really, are trying, I have to assume.
So this would be not quite apples to apples because each year we lose the 8th grade and we gain the 4th grade. So each year I'd say maybe like 20% of the student body changed, and the next year another 20%. So it gives us kind of the whole school overall snapshot, and we could drill down into more specific cohort data.
With the librarian, Karen, she's got a lot of kids more interested in reading and stuff. She's really great. You think, have you seen any improvement, especially like in the reading part, since she's actually teaching the kids and they're having fun and they're enjoying it and looking forward to it?
So we actually just had a conversation about this, and I think that we're actually going to get some students that are doing our book clubs that are going to come to our schools at some point after the new year. We definitely have seen a lot more students using the library. We now have a lot more book clubs that students do. I was in one this week and it was amazing because Aaron Arndt did not need to do anything. They were facilitating their own conversation. It was just like I was watching a bunch of adults like critique a book and being passionate and like kind of arguing, but like all about the content, that's magic that I hope for. The one thing that we did note though is that these clubs are really getting the students that already like to read. And so our goal is to try to find ways to get non-readers more into reading. The other conversation around that is graphic novels versus regular novels. So we've seen a real shift in not just Raymond, but I think most places where we see a lot more graphic novels. And that gets students kind of hooked into reading initially, but then we want them to expand their skill set because they're short sentences, it's not the same as reading like an actual novel. So we've talked about a few different strategies. Like you can buy like a Wings of Fire book, right? Where you get the graphic novel, which is an abbreviated version, and then you can get the full version. And so we hope that maybe if the kids read the graphic novel version, they would then be enticed to then read the full version. We've also recently purchased some audiobooks. And these are like little devices with headphones that you just plug it in. And again, we have the audiobook and then we have the actual book. So for some students, we're encouraging them like, hey, listen to your book and then follow along while you read as a way to try to help get them to read more. We're very lucky to have Kim.
And if you don't have this, I completely get it. I guess I'm curious. I think this is very consistent data. Do we know how that compares to, I guess, the country or who else, the cohort of folks who use this system? Is this sort of, I'm not asking this very well. Does this data look like is it consistent with countrywide data? Like, is these percentages pretty close to kind of a typical student anywhere in the country?
So I don't have that
Yeah, I didn't,
right now, but that's something like dig into, and iReady does give that information.
Yeah.
It's harder to get statewide information from them, but they'll give national data pretty easily. So I could take a look at that.
yeah, I'd just be curious because it's so consistent. I'm wondering, is this sort of how kids in these grades sort of progress anyway?
Yeah, and I think that we have representatives from Curriculum Associates coming in January. And so if I can't get it from just clicking the buttons, then I'll ask specifically what I hear.
Awesome, thank you.
This is the cohort data. So again, a reminder to how to read this is when we look at our current fourth graders, right, all the way to the right, that fall of 25, that's this year. So we have 30% of our students proficient in reading in fourth grade. When we look at the blue category, that's when they were in third grade. Look at the green, that's when they were in second grade. And when we look at the yellow, that's when they were in first grade. So we can kind of follow them 3 times a year over the years to see how they're doing and how they compare to themselves. Keep moving. This is the whole school for math. So for math, we had 9% that were mid or above grade level, 20% early on grade level, 41% one grade level below. As a reminder, it means that's right where they're supposed to be. 13% were 2 grade levels below, and 17% were 3 or more grade levels below. And this is a grade level comparison. Again, I see a similar trend with 6th grade.
Yeah, there was nobody that was was it a grade above?
Yeah, mid or above. Yeah. Going to be a goal for us this year.
That's right. You hope the bell curve is filled in on those tails, but on the left side anyways, but.
All of the specific grade level data. And again, this is the same format, but for math. So we can compare our beginning of the year whole school by who's in which category. So this shows that in that at or above grade level tends to go up a little bit each year. And everything else is pretty similar.
3% reduction in the red overall. That's a win in my book. 2% in reading. Both areas had a reduction in the red overall.
And even though we're looking at the beginning of the year data, in my mind, the most important data is the end of year data.
Questions? Right, seeing none.
Thanks, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Tom.
Biggest challenge of the day, Tom. I mean, echo Tom's, it was a very fast first trimester. A big highlight for us was also our family engagement. Our PTO has been very active and started us off with our open house, welcoming parents before the start of school, our Night Under the Stars, the Fall Family Festival, Halloween parties, our parent-teacher conferences. We had 20-minute parent-teacher conferences. I asked our teachers to fill out a survey. They very much enjoyed the longer meetings and the opportunity to meet with parents. We had 330 parent-teacher conferences scheduled, 312 in attendance, which was a 94% attendance rate. There were 15 conferences, either in person, via phone, or Google Meet, either before or after the conference date due to parent request. So it was a very well-attended event. And the reason why that number is so high is because if you can see, our enrollment is 811. That includes conferences with counselors, conferences with UAs, and such. So it was a very well-attended and well-received event, and they liked the longer duration, and they used it well.
In
Mhm.
the 15 remote, what I would call remote, are they included in the 330 or is it 345 that you actually?
345.
Okay.
We continue to benefit from Cervapalooza. You'll now, if you drive by LRES, you'll see the big murals on the front of the school, which has really been a very nice positive energy for outside the building, and we've enjoyed it. You will see here is our discipline data. I looked at real quickly back to last year. Our numbers are very, very similar to last year. And you will see that first and K and first, see the bulk of our numbers. And then once a student comes up to second and third grade, you're going to see a pretty big drop off as far as frequency. Our majors are definitely more than our minors, similar to Tom, and are similar to the middle school. And we do feel that having a new AP, we're still working out what the reporting is like, what referrals are like, how they're handled. It's sometimes a little different when you have a new AP in the school. But Mrs. Goulet does a phenomenal job of working with teachers to make sure everything gets put into Swiss. And I think it's working out really, really well. We've had no bullying reports this year.
Go ahead, just finish up, Paul, and I'll have a question about
Yeah.
discipline.
If you have a question, that'd be great.
First grade,
Yes,
it takes up, the referrals are 47%. Is that similar to what was like last year, or is this a bump in their discipline, this class?
this class has been one of our high flyers, and it continues to be a high flyer. It also has 2 brand new teachers. So their way of putting in referrals to Swiss, we've been working with them to make sure that every time, the way they put in a referral doesn't have to be. You can list many things in one referral versus putting in 7 referrals for one day. And so that number can be quite inflated. And so that number has been adjusted and it's coming down because of how referrals were put in at the beginning of the year, if that makes sense.
Just to clarify.
Yeah.
So under your scenario 7 instances, I hope
I
that's not,
would
I know that's
say-
fine. That's fine.
But-
No, that's fine. Is that, are you referring to there's one incident and there are many transgressions? Or is it over the day, there are different transgressions throughout?
Yeah, so if it would be, how to say it? So if a student, maybe interrupts class, goes out to the bathroom, comes back and interrupts class, goes out, comes back. It's really one event, but there are many parts of it. It's one event, but it just has many aspects.
So they're practicing.
That would be many referrals. And it really could have been one referral because it was dealt with in one instance. It took one time for the AP to come in and deal with it. We took care of it as one,
Mhm.
but it got put in as 7. I'm making the number.
No, that's like one traffic.
One traffic.
Lights and a ball
Yeah.
tie.
No, absolutely.
Yeah,
So that's been taken care of.
thank you.
So sorry.
I forgot what it was, God.
So are these the adjusted numbers or these the original? numbers?
These are the original. We don't go in. So if someone's.
Once it's in,
putting
it's in. Okay,
Don't.
I was just curious, sorry.
So that's why the numbers will probably, as the year goes on, it won't increase at the same rate.
How many students per classroom in grade 1?
I want to say grade 1, in total enrollment's 84. So somewhere between
5 teachers,
5 teachers, 17,
16-ish,
16 to 18.
16 to 17.
Second and third?
Second is our smallest class, and that's where the classrooms are smaller. And third grade goes back up to 16 to 18. And K is 16-ish.
Okay, thank you.
Student achievement, we use Bullfrog Proud, which is our monthly way of recognizing students. And that's if you walk into our school, it's an entire wall is where we proudly display the names of students who are put in there. There's our enrollment data so that you can see the size of the classes. We're a total of 311 last year. We were 330 or so. So you'll see that we are slightly smaller this year. And that's because we graduated a larger third grade class. But we really have that one small class, the second grade, and then it will go back up. And there's our upcoming events. Nothing really, no big surprises. The one thing I'll call is that we now have that new tradition that we have a grade level luncheon, bringing in parents. We had Thanksgiving with our kindergarten, and tomorrow is our first grade holiday feast with all family members. And actually, I think I just heard we're bringing in 70 people out of 84, 70 family members are coming in for first grade. So it's a very well-attended event. The people are very excited. Our food service people were running out and buying more turkeys because they didn't want to run out of food. So that's been a very successful event. If we go to fall data,
Before you do that, I have a
Surely.
question. Under the academics.
yes, yeah,
Trying to get there. Third bullet down,
yes,
there's something referred to, and maybe I've heard it before, but SPIR?
Spire.
Spire?
Spire,
Have we heard about that, or if we have, I won't?
it's fine.
Okay.
Spire is an intervention program that is designed to support student reading. And it is specifically designed for tier 2 and tier 3 for instruction, to support instruction for tier 2 and tier 3 students. So we purchased it under the guidance of Mary Ann Nice, who is our reading specialist or reading,
Guru?
I'm sorry, excuse
Guru?
guru. She's our guru. And actually, I was going to talk about Mary Ann and how she's supporting us for our tier 2 and tier 3 students when I was looking at the data. And so she was recognizing that we needed to continue to support our students and do it kind of in a systematic way and make sure that all our resources and our instructional strategies were meeting whatever they needed. And so 2 things we changed is we were not doing an assessment on our tier 3 students, our special ed students every 2 weeks, just to make sure that they were all growth. And so
Thank
now they are, we're using a cadence, which is just a very simple 1-minute assessment. And we just make sure that they're showing growth. And so we're doing that. And now we're using Spire, and all Title I and special ed case managers are using that. And so it's, and Mary Ann comes, she was just here today, and she's coming in again on Friday. She's working with it, with the teachers, and we're seeing a lot of gains. And it's really exciting for us because we know these students are making the growth that we want them to.
Good, thank you.
So, if I'm looking at whole school data, this is our whole school reading data. Again, it's very looking at the whole school. And if I look at it by grade level, what you're going to notice is K, you can't actually score red at the beginning of the year in K, so that's kind of a gimme. For first grade, only 1% of the class has anyone in red. And you'll see in grade 2, we've gotten up to 26% that are scoring two or more years below. And it's the third grade that we have a few more in the red. But you also see at the third grade, we see the third grade actually kind of is split in half almost. We have 43% already meeting grade level standards. But then we have 39% 2 or more years below. So we have that third grade kind of splitting of who is really doing well and who's struggling. So that's just a challenge that third grade faces. I'm going to follow Tom's lead, scoot through all the domains. And we'll look at our overview of math, or I can go real quickly to that whole school for reading.
I think
And if I look at this one, I think,
Which slide is that?
this,
14.
if I'm following Tom, it might be number 9. I don't know.
14.
I'm sorry, I don't have the 9.
14. Thanks.
14, thank you.
I thought it was further along. Thank you.
You went through a lot of them there.
So what you're going to see is in 22, 23, we have 21% in the green. And in 25, 26, we have 31% in the green. So we are seeing an upward trajectory as far as students who are starting the beginning of the year in proficient. So I take that as a good. And in 22, 23, we had 21% in red at the beginning of the year. And in 25, 26, we only have 16% in red. And that's a downward. I take that as a good trend. So this is whole school data. These are not the same students. But I hope that is showing that our instructional strategies school-wide are supporting our students. If we're looking at cohort data, and this is the third grade, I did this correctly. In kindergarten and first grade and second grade and third grade, this is third grade cohort data. So this is our current third grade. This is what they were in kindergarten, in first grade and second grade and third grade. And I'll show you cohort data. This is our current second grade. And then if you'd like me to, I can go right back up to math. This is our overschool. This is our overview for math. This is our whole school. The story is a little different when we looked at reading. This has a little bit more red than our reading, which tells me that it's an area of more work and focus. And if I look at it by grade, again, K can't have red.
Just 1 minute. That's fine.
Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. I was getting the high sign from a few different people.
Okay.
Terry was telling me it was okay to go and Tony was saying yes at the same time. So
Okay.
I'm glad they're on the same page. I just wanted to make note and that, I've made note last year. That we're not doing as well in math as in the elementary school. We're 235% more students proficient in reading than we have in math at the elementary school. And my question for the powers to be is what are we gonna do about that? Differently than what we've been doing, because what we've been doing is not successful. In my humble opinion.
So we have, I'm working with Josh Forkey, and we are hiring a coach. And so who's highly recommended. And she's coming for 6 sessions. And we're doing what we're doing with Marianne Nice, and we're duplicating it. And we're going to target our tier 2 and tier 3 students in figuring out how are we going to support those students so that they're going to start achieving grade level expectations. And so she's going to start working with us in February for 2 days in a row. Then she's coming again in March. And she's going to begin by working with our Title I and our case managers. And that's where she's going to start. And then after she works with those people, so I've already met with her and Josh, then we're going to work with the classroom teachers. And so she's done this with a lot of school districts. She's out of Maine, actually. It's called the Maine, I'm going to get the name wrong, but it's the Maine Math Initiative. She's written books, but she's very well. She's highly recommended. So we're going to do those 3 days. Then she's going to circle back and do another 3 days, and that will be including our classroom teachers to really focus on small group instruction, which will be then focusing on number sense and number fluency, which is where we feel that that's where we're falling down. And so that's not like a gut instinct. That's me looking at data and like saying, okay, this is where we're going down. And I think we have a plan, but I feel comfortable that she's going to help us with that plan. And I think we're doing the right thing. So that's how we're going for it.
The tier 1, tier 2 and 3 is where you're concentrating, you said, is that would
That's
be
where we're starting.
concentrating, yep. What percent of the students make up that in your school?
Well, right here, if you think of tier 2 and 3 in 3rd grade, that's 33% of their class. Because that is the red, and those are the students who are 2 and 3 years behind. And that's 27 plus 6, so it's 33. And so then on grade 2, it's 23%, if I'm only using iReady data and not considering classroom data.
Yeah, that's why I asked, because I could just look at the numbers and pick it out, but I'm asking because
Right,
there's more to it than iReady data.
right. So I'm just going off these, and I'm gonna be candid. I don't have all the other things right in front of me. I
Yep.
can, but I can do that for your Friday memo.
If you could.
Yep.
Just so that I can get a sense of where
Yep.
we're concentrating. Because the other part of me is also thinking that our tier 1 instruction might not be as robust as it needs to be.
Nope, it can't be, but,
It can't be what?
no, it must not be because our data isn't showing that it is. But when I was speaking with her about where to begin, she said that she has the most success when she comes into a district
Yep.
to begin at the foundation. And the foundation is building up the supports for tier 2 and 3. Start there,
Mhm.
then move up to tier 1. But if she only focuses on tier 1 and she doesn't take care
Oh, no, I
And
just
so that's-
curious as to
we're just on
where it's good.
foundation.
But if you could give us the tier 2 and 3 on, I don't know, whatever is easiest by the whole school or grade,
I'll get it.
whatever works for you. I
Okay.
appreciate it. Thank you. Steve.
Actually, my question is for John. I guess I'm not sure what you're seeing. What is it you're looking at that says that the math scores are worse than the reading? Because
I'm
I'm,
going by proficiency
wait,
in whatever the green is proficient, correct?
correct. So I'm looking
we
at the
have-
red and the hatched red,
Right,
and
but
it's
if we-
actually, we are in a better shape for the math than we are for the reading.
Okay, if we look at the green in math, there is 40 students
So I
In
just want to
green.
remind you that we can't look at just green because these kids shouldn't be in green, they should be in yellow. So these kids at this point in time in the year should be yellow. So green kids are actually ahead of the game. So when you look at the proficiency at this moment in time, you have to take into account yellow and green.
I don't have to.
Well, the data, the way they've set this up, yellow and green is proficient or ahead.
Because when we look at this, at the end of the year, we're gonna look at where we are in green.
Right, at the end of the year, you're correct.
And if we can get there sooner, we should be.
We should be getting,
You asked me the question. You could at least let me answer the question.
thought I
If you-
had.
If it,
I was just trying to get clarity about what you were looking at and you said just green. So
you don't want the answer, that's fine.
Okay. Are we through?
I'm done.
Okay.
Terry wants.
Without looking at the numbers, I can tell you, we are behind in math. When you look at our spring data, we are more proficient in reading than we are in math. So we are lagging behind. And it is somewhat, it is harder. And again, John doesn't like this answer. It's harder to get teachers to buy into the math. And it's harder to find someone that Josh and Amy have found that specializes in the math. And it actually has results. Because you got to get the teachers to buy in to get the results. Not so much the students, but when the teachers start to see that the program is working and the students are making gains, then they get encouraged too.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna do data, but I'm just being honest with you. We are behind in math. I haven't figured out the math wise. But, and again, you're right too. Green and yellow, we're not, but when push comes to shove at the end of the year, I'm telling you right now, I'll bet you $5 we are gonna have more kids in the green and reading than we will in math.
Oh, yeah,
I'll
that-
gamble in my meeting.
say,
In his meeting.
No gambling in his meeting. Yeah.
yeah,
Walk
my
the line.
question and concern was, I was looking at it from the other side. That's why I was like, wait, the reds are actually very similar. Everything above it is different. So that's why I was.
While Mamie and I fight about this, I don't take a lot of stock in fall data, but fall data gives us our marching orders to where we need to get for the spring. It sets the baseline. It identifies the students who need more interventions than others, and we're off and running. And it also identifies those students who we can move into more advanced placements or enriching activities sooner than later. So this to me, it sets the bar. And now we've set the bar, and now, I know their expectation, my expectation, and your expectation is that starts to move up and we start moving more and more to green.
And I'll just show you real quick.
You didn't yell at me.
Yeah, oops, I'm leaving. There we go. Full school. Comparison of the years for math, I showed you reading, and then we had the upward trajectory and the downward trajectory for upward for green, downward for red. For math, it's just going to show you, I believe it's just staying the same. And so we really haven't changed over the years.
That's why I felt confident in saying what I did,
Mhm.
because I did look at this and say, this year isn't unique.
No, it's not. It's not getting worse, but it's not getting better. So this tells me that hiring an expert will be helpful.
And we have the resources to do that.
Title I. And that also matters because Title I funds only fund supporting Title I.
Yep.
And I'm using Title I. And we're slipping in our case managers too. But Title I funds pays for Title I.
Yep. I mean, the biggest thing is that, reading is more fun, especially when you're younger. I mean,
Although
reading's more
math,
fun when you're older too, so I'll just say it that way.
math can be a ton of fun, but it depends.
Yeah, but you go home, you have, it's not called Harry Potter and the, math class. It's, But at that age too, you gotta remember reading is a big part of math.
as a kid.
Reading is a huge part of math at that age level. So, I mean, to get good at math, you kind of have to be able to read.
There's no real.
Especially nowadays.
Right, yeah. A lot of
Is it-
work problems and-
you're gonna have to be able
No,
to read to be
that's
successful in math.
Oh my gosh, ours is
Kids
very.
don't seem to know them.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw some of my kids and I'm like, this is math.
I mean, there's a lot more fun activities
more
now
reading.
for math than there ever were when I was a kid.
Oh,
Just bring the book home and do math.
We didn't have,
I'd rather do that than try to figure out a train going to the west at 10 miles an hour the train going to the east at 50 miles an hour, where are they
They only
gonna?
had 12
I'd
out.
much rather just, like, let's go, baby. Give me my time today.
The apples that he picked Tuesday, like, no.
I don't care.
I think unless you want more, I think we're done.
Thank you.
Nice job, guys.
Actually, I had one more question about this. We can go back to discipline. No, I don't need that. So the number of students, 36, that's, I mean, we're talking almost 2 complete classrooms and numbers. Is that spread across the whole grade, or is that particular classrooms are having trouble with a large group of students? I'm trying to wrap my head around it.
As far as, you're asking the number of students who are,
It says 36 students and
First grade.
365 referrals in
First grade.
grade 1.
is
That-
specific students.
Okay, so
It's,
they get, there's like a group of kids that just
and
get
it's,
each other riled up, and then we know what happens after that.
it's specific students with multiple events.
Yeah, I'm hoping they're not all in 2 classrooms.
Yeah, no, but I mean, you see what I'm saying?
Spread
though?
out, right?
Is it
Yeah.
10 kids in one room and 5?
Yeah, no,
Like,
I understand.
mean, it's a lot of kids that are,
No, the 36, there's,
of that is like,
our data, I don't want to speak, I wish I had it in front of me, but I think it's like 10 or 12 students have 90 or 94%
So
of all the data.
there's a number of, you
And
know,
then it all falls off, then it's.
it's kind of right. Good. Anyone else?
Thank you both.
Thank you.
Thank
Happy holidays.
Thank you.
All right. up next. Monthly financial update.
Good evening. All right, financials that you have in your packet tonight are through November 30th, 2025. Your first page is the revenues. Everything is coming in as it should. Hopefully we'll be finding out within the next month or so in regards to our ed aid and our impact fees.
I'm waiting. Until you get done with revenues, I have a question on revenues, but go ahead.
Okay.
You want me to, okay. Sorry, I'm trying to, building aid, where, okay. You say it's at 50%.
Mhm.
Okay, I'm all set.
Okay.
Misread it.
I'm glad I could
Looking at
answer that for you.
No, I misread it.
No, that's okay.
That's on me.
That's our last building aid.
I made my quota for the year.
Okay.
1,000. Wait a second. 104.
I like the easy ones because I'm
Easy.
expecting a lot of questions on. So I don't have anything else on the revenue page. Anything else there? Okay. Now, John, I am expecting a lot of questions, comments on the next page. So your second page has a summary of general fund expenditures by object code. Oh, I need to get rid of that without further encumbrances. I apologize for that. So all of the salaries and benefits, those are over because we have hired people in order to save on our contracted services. So when, this is super loud. I have like an echo. So if you look at the line, I don't know, maybe 10 down where it says $582,000 left, that is for the professional services for students. So those should offset each other, but they don't. We're a little bit in the hole there. So then we would typically make that up through the rest of the budget. However, we do have our contract with Kyle Barker Architects, which we talked about last month. So we have $285,000 there that we will be over budget. And a little bit further down, you have our municipal leasing contract, which will, the year our payment is due for $258,000. And then the student transportation, communications, we've talked about the last couple of months, why that is over. FYI, I did receive more invoices
We'll talk later.
from them. They're just collecting on my desk. I'm saving them right now. Advertising is over for, because of Indeed, because that's how we've actually been able to fill a lot of our positions that we haven't been able to fill. So that is over. And then the student tuitions, we have money left over. And then we're trying to anticipate for the savings on the electricity and oil because of our energy savings that we have going on in that project. And then I did not fully encumber the books, periodical software, equipment, and furniture. So the bottom line I have right now is in the red, $270,000, which is about the amount for Barker Architects. So if that is true by the time we get to the end of the year, we do have the option of taking it out of capital reserve funds, which we've discussed.
We've approved it.
Yes, right. Yeah. So, but right now, there it sits until we get further into the year and we do our public hearings and all that stuff.
Did you say we accounted for like oil and electricity? Not, I mean, underspending those in this, so we've accounted for that.
We've accounted for
What the
that.
right word is, but
Yep, I've accounted for that, the purchase of the wood chips. I've put that all,
Yep.
it should actually all be in your detail by.
Yeah,
Yep.
I looked at it, I can't remember. So in essence, knowing that right now we voted to do the lease payment through capital reserve fund at this point, the way I'm looking at this right now is we're at zero.
Mhm.
Should we be pulling back the purse strings at this point? Because we're 5 months in and I'm getting nervous myself. I don't know about how you folks are feeling.
I've been nervous with Terry. I've expressed to him my concerns. We're watching things very closely. We had our admin meeting today. We discussed things with them. And I think we're on the right track in any other purchases that need to go through the budget process right now. So when somebody submits a purchase order, Terry and I will be looking at it together to see if we approve it or not.
So what does that mean like you did last year? A little soft raise,
It's,
soft?
yeah, like it's not like full hard on,
Frost.
you're, yeah,
Well, the reason I partly bring it up is because we're at zero
yes.
and, we have one student come in
Mhm.
that we have to replace, or we determine a student in-house needs to be out. We're up to, now we have backup plans, but I'd rather not access those backup plans. I'd rather be within and not going in the red and being in the red at the end of the year because of it. So you're comfortable, Terry, in that what you're doing now going forward at this point, obviously that changes
Next
month.
Next month, yep.
Yeah.
Right now, we're kind of like, hey, we pulled the reins in, we pulled the reins in at about what, 11 o'clock today?
Yes.
When we were very clear.
Very good. Thank you.
Iron Fist.
Well, I think I did. Had that- I think I might have brought it down one time.
I mentioned about bringing the hammer down.
Huh?
It didn't go over too well.
No, it didn't. I said, did you not
kinda
hear
like
what I
fell
just said? I am having, do you not hear me? Well, can I? No.
You look in your wallet, if you don't have money, you can't spend it. That's right.
Yeah.
Those checks aren't. I mean, you got infinite money.
They don't float themselves.
No.
Right. Any questions on that?
Food service.
Or
And then
what?
the page after that, food service, basically the actuals, the encumbrances, the additional encumbrances. So right now we're looking at being $71,000 for the transfer from the general fund, which would be under budget by $28,000. I do know she is in the process of hiring people as we speak. So that could change because then I'll lower the substitute that I've encumbered and then the salary will be encumbered.
We know if we're carrying a unpaid lunch balance currently or what that is? At the
The
moment?
parents.
Yeah, whatever the unpaid lunch debt is
Whatever,
for
yeah.
currently today.
All right. You know what we're talking
The
about?
donation, right?
No, I'm just curious. Since we're talking about food service, is that on the
I
agenda?
remember, how much was it?
So
So we had a donation come in.
we had a donation that.
$1,000, I think, last meeting or 2 meetings
It
ago.
was you, we did, yeah, I'm just trying to remember.
So I think through like a certain date in October, everything was paid up. We still do have people that are over.
I know it gets back up quick.
Yeah, Terry has been, we've been working together and
Terry Mason.
doing that
Yeah.
and trying to schedule periodic payments.
It takes a year now, a year before I file, and I even get a piece of paper back saying it's
Again, it comes to the point now, how much are we paying you to go sit in court and do this?
$90 to file every time I file. Then after I win, after I win, it's another $25 because then I have to go in for a periodic payment hearing. And then after that, now, I'm not saying I don't get money. I do get money sometimes, but I just question. And I'm also, to be honest with you too, I have to punt. People have moved. I can't find them. Their addresses have changed.
If it's,
I mean,
I guess, if it's taking you a year, because a year from now, they don't have anything at that point. It's now back to zero.
Yes,
Because we've had to take,
yes.
and we can't, I don't think we can go and say, you owe us
can
money,
we
can we?
even collect on it?
Yeah, I do. We do.
June 30th,
Yeah, we do.
even though we've,
Yes, but they still owe me because they had to bill.
how it works, so we can still do it.
Yep.
Do you think it's still worth it?
I don't know if the $300 is the threshold. I think it probably needs to be higher to chase, you know what I'm saying?
My question is, have you gotten more back than it has cost us to send you there?
Oh, no.
Okay, then that's my answer.
No, I spend more to get, yeah, I spend more. I mean, I've got a notebook that thick.
We have a designee that could go in your place, that maybe part-time. No benefits.
I don't want to be a jerk. It's not so much my time going because I'm in and out in
But
10
it kind
minutes.
of is.
Well, no, it takes me longer to drive there than to sit in court. I'm at there. Raymond, yep. Anyone? Yep.
If they're on time.
See you later. No, they never show.
But court, if you're there for 9:30,
But I'm there at 9:30. I'm usually out by 9:45, 9:50.
then if you want to keep going, keep going.
My point is that it's $90 to file and the $25 to file. It's the money that I keep spending.
You spent 150 to collect 300.
Or at least 3.
If you get it.
If I get
Well,
it. I don't, Tony, I win a lot, but I don't get a lot of money back.
But I'm gonna,
It's 50-50.
juice for us to
That's right.
squeeze.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting
That's where we're
to.
getting.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to phrase.
Go.
That's your phrase.
Yeah, I love
I
it.
pointed to Steve when I said it.
Do recognize.
So again, maybe we
I
can bring
used
this up to
Elmo today.
determine what we want to do at another date, but yeah.
We have beaten around this bush, I don't know how many times over the last number of years since they, created this law.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a bush left.
I just have I agree with Tony. There should be some sort of national, state level, state funding. Not very time soon where you get free lunches to kids in school, because this is ridiculous. Because right now, we're in a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because if we don't go after people, they're saying, well, you're getting away, why do I have to pay?
Right.
Why am I doing this?
Or we cost for everybody else to pay for the, that I'm paying.
So I gotta,
Which will only reduce the number of people who buy.
what else have we brought this to
I have a
elections?
question.
Oh, paid somebody?
No, actually, they usually pay you because they'll take the loan off your hands and sit there and say, well, I'll take this and we'll give you $100 and
Huh.
I'll send it to like an agent.
Election is,
Debt
Agency.
collector?
I'm gonna make a phone call.
I hate to be a jerk, but
No, well,
That's kind of fun sometimes.
I'm just, it's funny, I never thought about it, but it's a really good idea because
Yeah.
why are we gonna chase a bill that's probably never gonna come in?
We're gonna get $100 on that. We weren't getting, we'll
You lean,
give us
lean their,
$75.
lean their property. Can we lean their?
Yeah, and then they take the rest, but we, I don't, I'll reach out.
I mean, it's definitely more of a, because that's how dinging your credit report. You don't like that happening.
I'd say start leaning people's property.
Not that we're allowed to do that one, but.
All right.
At the very least, it's one of those situations where if you say to people, either you have to make good or it's gonna go to a credit agency, that might motivate them more than a court date.
Can't
But
the credit agency get them to lean on their check or something? Or
once it's in the credit agency's hand, I
There might
don't
be
know what-
privacy issues with selling that kind of information, but I mean, if you get assistance from the town for like oil or whatever, and you don't pay them back, they put a lien on your property. I mean, this is no different than us paying your lunch bill.
You might be,
You own a-
you get a whole new school built on it.
Terry.
One thing I will say is that one of the benefits has been, we've had parents work out deals where, okay, I'll apply for free and reduced.
Mhm.
And that's put people in the right direction so that they're no longer accumulating.
Again, that could be something I work with these individuals on too, like, hey, listen, if we can make this, we're gonna,
Unfortunately, it's come to that process to get people to
yeah.
do that for whatever reason. So it's been a benefit in that regard.
Uh-huh.
If they qualify for free lunch, it's not retroactive. It won't pay back.
I typically, I'm gonna be honest with you, if they come in and they fill out the paperwork and they qualify, we're moving on. I'm not not going down that road, because the judge is gonna look at me like, really, dude, are we serious?
Do they get a regular lunch?
Right, that I understand.
They can only get a regular lunch on a free and reduced. They can't get the,
They
A
can't
la
get
carte.
the- Yeah, no
No,
subsidy.
have to-
no, yeah, I know, but I thought years ago, they used to give them peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah, no, you
Can't
can't
do
do
that
that.
anymore.
That'll hurt their feelings.
We used to.
oh, yeah, that does, yeah, no, you're
No more
shaming
now.
them, yeah.
What is it, butter?
Peanut butter or sun
Sun
butter.
butter.
Sun butter or something,
nope.
and jelly or something.
Not even peanut butter.
No, well,
No
no,
rice
it's
and beans.
Oh, true.
Right, sorry to derail that.
I'll look into this. Joe,
All right.
give you no credit there, buddy. Thanks.
Joe's collection agent.
Yeah.
But I think it's important for
We will
anybody
take
who
that
may,
on doing our phone line business.
for anybody who may have heard this as their first discussion of us talking about it, this isn't our first choice. This is we're at our wits' end,
This is a year.
years and years, because,
Every year.
yeah.
Oh, Jennifer, what does she want?
Told her we might be going at recess.
Exactly. We might as just leave it.
Says a minute.
I passed it your way before. She didn't hear me.
Have fun.
Did a speed bump? Can I tell us we all done? I can't.
Try don't open it again.
Terry had said he got some correspondence. I think we were just waiting on to see what that was.
Oh, no, it's just.
Okay, well.
It's
Waiting for it.
this and then I'm,
It says we.
sorry, we're good.
Anyway,
Procedural.
I'm gonna send it back that way.
So, moving on. Is that it?
You follow-
Financial?
That's all I have for the financials.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Roll.
So,
All you right now, Tony.
Right, default budget's up next.
so do,
It's the other part you need to do.
What do I need to do?
can I make the amendment?
Right.
Agenda.
Okay.
No, we don't amend it.
No, we can just reset.
Amend agenda, go to non-public?
Because we're gonna recess to go into a non-meeting, right?
Oh, that's.
Okay.
Yeah. So, go into recess. Do I have to officially, is there a process to say?
You can say how much.
Okay, good.
That's it? Okay.
Let it now be.
So clear.
I already had more than I was supposed to. That's all you, man.
I guess I could give some to my brother, my sister, I guess, if I have to.
All right. Thank Ms. Whitmore for the.
Oh, you're welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Right, we are back. We come back from recess.
So you might want to wait now.
8 seconds. Be longer than that.
2 minutes.
So,
Right after we-
do you want to open up the discussion on who wants to start that?
We have to say we're back from non-public.
No,
Recess.
recess. We went to recess.
Yeah.
Now we're back.
We're back from recess.
He said we're out of,
Yes.
we're back in
Recess is
session.
over.
The administration, I think, should start the conversation, just tell us where they are and what they did, right? And that,
Can do that. So you have the default budget in your packet. We have started with the operating budget for 25-26, which was 31,314,000. We have a reduction from the 25-26 budget, of $1,006,000 for the bond principal and interest. Because we are on the default, I have no one-time expenditures to subtract out. Additions are salary and benefit increases, which were salaries were 358,000, health insurance 66,000, New Hampshire retirement 86,000, net other benefits, which would be such things as life, long-term disability, social security, an increase of 54,000. The contracts increases and decreases, were contracted services for students, an increase of $631,000. No change in increase in electricity, propane and oil. Other services, which would include admin, legal, audit, trainer and PD would be $17,000. Maintenance contracts, an increase of $258,000. Transportation, increase of $318,000. Communications and printing, increase of $23,000. Special education and vocational educational tuitions, $166,000, which would put our default budget at $32,285,000, which is $425,000 short of the proposed budget.
Paul would include the curriculum coordinator salary, no?
It does not, because it was not in our default.
Nor the SRO.
I had to subtract out the 3 BCBAs, the speech person, the curriculum director,
Behavior coaches.
behavior coaches. And all of them, with the exception of the curriculum coordinator, have increased our contracted services because it's going to cost more to contract those positions out.
Athletic trainer.
The athletic trainer, so if we have to contract him out, I put athletic trainer contracted services and subtracted his salary out.
yeah, I have a question about the contracted services. In the, where it's in the object codes, detailed information. The budget for 25-26 is ballpark 1.742.
Mm-hmm.
And on our budget for 25-26, we're proposing it's at 866, round numbers. But then we're jumping up to 2.2. Why wouldn't it be at the 1.7?
Because there are increases built onto those contracted services.
Because we have contracts and those contracts are going up in the amount of over 600,000. And potentially number of student changes that we're obligated to
Mhm.
support. So that's where it's coming from.
And those positions that we have now added and subtracted out. So the difference is $1.3 million.
Can you say that one more time? Because I didn't quite follow all of it.
Nope, you're fine. Let me go to an email where I have that information.
I was gonna say, all the contracts, stuff that we have hired that wasn't in the default budget per se that we have this year, can't be in the default budget for
Right.
next year. So these would be all the contracts that we would need to have to cover those costs if we didn't have the.
So I get that
Yeah.
part. That's the 631 increase in contractor services. So where's the 1.7? That's the part I'm missing.
That's what is budgeted for the school year we're currently in,
Oh.
25, 26. Is where that. Because what we're comparing everything to from the default of
Okay.
what it was in 25, 20.
From last year. Okay, sorry.
But again, if we know our contracted services are going up, traditionally they don't go down.
Right.
And if student mixed or changed from we're obligated to, if we have two more hypothetically out of district placements, then we're required to pay those. And that is put in the default, correct? And I just wanted to make sure I understood why it was such a large number, that difference there, right?
So just to reiterate on that, because of your question, so the positions I had to subtract out of the default budget from the operating budget, because we don't have those positions.
Right.
They were never approved, are 3 BCBAs, 5 behavior coaches, and 1 speech aide. The total of those 9 positions just in our budget is $745,000,
Salary and benefits are just salary.
salary and benefits.
For those 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
9 positions, yeah. So if we don't get the operating budget, those positions are not approved. And then we have the contracted services money. So to contract those 9 positions out is $1.3 million.
So it's gonna cost us almost twice as much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
For the same 9.
And the athletic trainer, the same thing. And we have, maybe I want to say, salary and benefits somewhere between $60,000 and $65,000. If we contract that one out, that's going to be $100,000. If we can find one, that's the problem. That one's been hard to even try to get contracted out.
We would still
Right,
hire if we could.
exactly.
Any further explanation?
I don't have anything unless you guys have further questions that I can explain.
Tomorrow. Just gonna go over it all again tomorrow.
So the maintenance contract for 254,968 is for the EEI project.
Yes.
What was the initial balloon payment that was supposed to have this year?
The payment and the budget is $846,839.
846, 839.
846,839.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a motion that we have set the default budget at $32,285,799.
Discussion? Joe?
Good. I'm gonna put 2 things out here. One, if we're required to pay the bill for this, and we put it in our budget, either A, it should come out of our budget, because we don't need it. And we should lower our budget. And if we get the grants, we get the grants. Either that, or 2, when legal advice is on both sides of the fence here several times. The people know about the balloon payment, the warrant article to continue the EEI grant project. And 3, if the public knows about it, we had 28 meetings about it, at least brought the slideshow up 10 times. We had a video about it. so the public has ample knowledge about it. So in my mind, the default budget should go up the difference. Well, our budget should go down. Because if it's okay for us not to be able to pay for it, we hope to get the grants in the default budget. Why can't we do the same thing for the regular budget?
Yeah, I look at this differently. All those meetings to 22, I don't think they count. Because all we're talking about is discussions surrounding the operating budget for 25, 26. We're actually 26, 27. And the 25, 26 budget had in there the 250 and change. It was like 258 or whatever it was. 250 to 260. And there wasn't, that I recall, much of any discussion about it being a balloon payment. I remember conversations that it was going to be the 280, but I don't envision that worthy enough of saying that we can rightfully put that in our default budget. I don't think the evidence is there that a court would support that position. And I'll go by what somebody said earlier this evening. I'm a little risk adverse in this regard because I think we'd be barking up a storm unnecessarily and putting ourselves, I think, at risk. I don't know exactly how that risk is in there, but that's why I made the motions that I did.
Yeah, I had a thought. Hold on one second. Sometimes when I have to wait, I forget. Keep right, all right,
That was
now
Joe.
the line here. All right, Joe.
If you're looking at contracts as that,
Maybe.
stuff like the school bus contract should be taken out of the increases for that should be taken out of the default budget as well. So can't have it one way and then the other.
Well, it's different. Okay, well, I can have my opinion, and if I could finish my opinion, I would appreciate it. My opinion is that it's different in that transportation has been in the budget going decades. So that is not new. That is something that exists and we are obligated to pay contractually. This has been new and it hasn't been in the operating budget the last 2 years, if memory serves me correctly. So it is different in that regard.
Sorry. The savings for this contract were in the operating budget.
Yeah, that was budget committee's wisdom. I can't justify what they did. That was 2 years ago, right? Wasn't it?
Yep.
Okay. No, I'm just trying to remember, Joe, as to when it happened.
I remember what I want to say. Yeah, I mean, I kind of agree with John where I don't know if there's specific posting requirements that are defined in informing the public because I mean, there are very specific ways you have to inform the public of things, very specific things. And I don't know that us just saying it's going to be a balloon payment 22 times is sufficient. So
Actually, his correspondence, it doesn't need to be at the deliberative session or anything like that. Technically, you just have warrant articles at the deliberative session and say nothing. I mean,
but my concern is that, you know, the legal requirements for informing the public, because if that's the point that they have to be informed, then there's going to be a minimum requirement to informing the public. No, I would have to assume. 'Cause I could say I wrote on this piece of paper and left it on the table, and you could have read it or not, but I informed you. I mean, where do you draw the line to informing the public and it's not? We could tell people, oh, we're having a meeting tomorrow, but if it's not posted properly, it's not
that's
correct.
I mean, we have public meetings, you know, that dispense. We had a meeting to dispense the money from CIP.
Right.
Because the budget committee asked us to look at using the CIP committee as the CRF to pay for it first, and then we decided to go that route, and then, you know, a couple weeks later, we decided to use the route of paying the initial payment through. And that was the same year they put in savings. And when they switched everything, they take out the savings and put in the other number. But
Again, I think there's very specific requirements to informing the public and.
I understand that.
Deal
So
with that.
why are we not using the same formula for this default budget as we did last year? If we can't pay for the payment, then the entire amount of the contract should be in the default budget. Because we would owe the money right then and there because we defaulted on the contract itself now.
So that was gonna be my question. So I had two things. That was my first thing was gonna be that question. So I understand both sides of what you guys are saying. I think I fall more towards what Joe's saying, only because if you sign a contract, and we've talked about the contract, and I believe we have mentioned the balloon payment in public meetings with recordings. I think we probably have met that burden, but regardless of that, we have a contract that we signed with a company for a certain amount of money for payments a certain amount each year. And that contract, I believe the details of that contract were also published to the public. And so what do we say to a debtor when we go back to them and say, okay, well, we signed this contract, but now we don't have the money to pay you for this contract? So my big question and concern is, if we choose to leave it the way it is and leave the base payment, which will, by the way, be the payment from now on, this is a one-time bigger payment, because we're expecting to get these grants that will offset that payment.
And that's why the timing is what it is, because that's when they were.
Because that's-
Supposed to get them, right?
Right, it should
About that much
offset.
time.
It should, but what happens if we don't get the grants? Now we're on the hook for another $591,871 that we have yet to budget for.
But the issue with that, sorry, Don,
No, that's
is
fine.
that, that was part of the sell is we're gonna be getting these grants. It's pretty much guaranteed was the sell, no?
Well, again, so why is it in our regular budget?
John?
Just to clarify something, Marjorie, maybe if Terry knows, that's fine, but we're getting one grant to offset this. The other grant, I think, goes to EEI, or do both of them go to E EEI?
So the bump in the lease payment, it was done that way because that's when we're supposed to get the grant.
Oh, I understand that. I
And
thought
then
you were
we're getting,
explaining to us-
then we're getting separate money as well. That is supposed to be, it's a rebate / incentive that is supposed to be going to finish off paying the rest of EEI for the project.
And how much is that?
Roughly about $500,000.
And there are two grants. There are the 400,000 something and the 500 and we're only, just to clarify, because it doesn't impact the default, because that's revenue.
Correct.
So just to clarify, we're on the hook for about half that payment in operating at this point in our budget as we've presented it. Is that right?
Yep.
Okay. Just to clarify that
Half of the 846?
ballpark.
We already got one. How much was the one that we already got?
Gonna be ballpark 410.
So we already got before.
But we've
We've
gotten
got
that, we've got
90%
90% of it. We're waiting for the
Wow.
10%. That
Rebate or
amount,
something.
the amount that we're getting right now is the part that's supposed to be paid to EEI. Because the grant money that we're getting, it's not grant, it's a rebate. The rebate that we're getting from, I think it's from the boiler, that's coming for next year.
And it has no impact on the default. I was just trying to make sure,
Yep.
because we were saying, I didn't want anybody to think that both pieces of large money are going to offset that payment. Only part of that payment, or those two amounts. That's all. I just wanted to.
How much goes towards the payment? The 410?
588 for the bump payment next year, 588.
I thought that's what EI was getting, no?
No.
They're getting the smaller of the two. I like that.
So of
I
the,
prefer that.
so of the difference of 591, the grant or rebate we're expecting for next year is 588.
Yes.
So we're gonna be on the hook for about 280, 290 of the remainder.
Well, if we budget the 254, the difference between what we owe for the balloon and what we've budgeted is 591. If we're getting 588, we're only short about $3,000, which is a much more manageable number. I mean, it's ballpark 3, maybe 4. Right?
I don't know. You guys are bouncing around.
The total balloon
Starting off
payment,
numbers, I'm having a tough time following.
total balloon payment is 846, 839. Right? even if I'm not exact, it's that 840 something. We're budgeting 254, which is the standard payment.
No,
Isn't that the maintenance contracts line in this
We-
budget?
our budgeting, we budgeted the full. The default is 258,060.
So sorry, so the payment that we're budgeting is 258,060?
Budgeting.
In the default,
Budget.
that's what's in the default.
And that's because that's what we paid last year.
Okay. So the logic I'm going for still stands. It's just had the wrong exact number. So 846, 839 is what we're, we have 258 in the default. So my number will be off by a couple thousand, but I have it as a difference of 591, 871. That's about what we're on the hook for that we don't have budgeted because we're expecting the rebate.
Right.
And the rebate isn't going to cover all of that, but it'll cover most of it. Is there any chance we don't get the rebate? Is this a government rebate or is this a company rebate?
It's something that we filed with the IRS.
So,
So there was a tax form we had to file with them. We started working on that July. August, I
July
believe.
1, when they came on board.
Yep.
Because we had to get it in before, it's June 30th, they had to come on board, so we had to get it in July 1 to make sure that we got it in this fiscal year.
is this one of these areas of government that are fuzzy right now? Or do we think?
But this money's been appropriated because he had to do
They-
that because it was already appropriated.
And that was the rush for us to get it done.
I'm just,
case
some are
before
much
anything
fuzzier than others, that's all.
Nope.
There's some fuzzy and there's some really,
Fuzzy
really
or-
fuzzy.
They were like, you need to get this done, one for the fiscal year, calendar year, however they
Yeah, perfect.
operate. They said it's a really long process. And they were worried that if anything changed in the government, then it wouldn't even be accounted for if we didn't get it in by a certain time. So we literally just,
And they pretty much did cut rebate funding after that, no?
Correct.
We made the deadline, but
We made the deadline.
didn't, so that would have put us in a
So-
tight spot.
All things being equal, we got it in time, the money's been appropriated, we should be getting the rebate. I'm not worried about a couple $1,000 discrepancy. We can, that's not as big a deal to me. The concern I have is if we don't put it in the default and we don't get the rebate, where do we come up with $588,000? That's my only outstanding question. If all things go south, where do we come up with almost $600,000? Because now we're screwed.
All right, well, motion on the table to not add in the extra money, right? Just the payment?
Yeah, this is what the administration has provided us with. It's a default.
All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So
I'm confused. which
the hell,
one we're
does that
voting on.
win 2-1? I don't, 2-2?
So we're leaving money in the,
You
in,
No.
voting, Beth?
We're not doing it. Yeah,
as soon as I know what we're voting on, you guys go back and forth.
Like ding, 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 ding.
They made a motion not to put in anything and keep it the way the
As it's
administration.
presented.
not put in the rebates, essentially.
So the number would be 32,285,799, which is what the administration came up with the police payment being 250, whatever. I don't remember the number. It's not, I think it's 258, $60.
All right.
All right, so everybody.
You guys
understood what we're
voted
doing?
yes, you want to go with that.
So,
I'll go yes.
so,
258,060. Is what the payment is.
That voted yes.
so, okay, so
Want to revote?
start again. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Nay.
3-2.
3-2. Up next.
You bet.
I'm not signing anything, voting on anything until I know what exactly we're doing.
No, absolutely. Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
RESS contract.
Barry, you're up.
Yeah, well,
Oh, it should be. I'm like, I got nothing in front of me.
Do we just make a motion?
I would hope we would advertise what we're trying to.
explain it a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't know what we were.
I lost my it on my screen there, so give me a second.
Yeah, the high copy.
I did. Did I give it back to Terry?
There it is.
I got a paper one, yes, sir.
Paper never fails. We should get it. one.
You know, I need that other one too. Hold on 1 second here.
Do you just need the numbers for each
Yeah.
year?
Oh, before you start, I do have a question. I believe the legislature passed a law that is now in effect, and I didn't get a chance to look. Where we're required to put up not only the 3 years of what it costs, but the estimated tax impact of those 3 years. Not only the first year, which has been the case for whenever, since Sanborn came in, but also I think we're on the hook for 2 and 3. So if we're not sure, if we could just calculate that tonight and give us that number and then check with whoever we need to check with.
I think I saw that same notification.
Yeah, I just don't remember if it was legislation that was in the process of being looked at or if it was actually ultimately approved. So I just want to if nobody's sure, I want to make sure that we're on.
How do you
I don't know if
predict
it passed. I don't know if it passed.
Yeah. So,
Is that something you can
So
predict?
many things
Sure.
here.
We're going through a revow for one. How do you?
well,
Yeah.
that's where we'll have to, because I don't think there was any description as to, okay, how do you ascertain what your evaluation?
there was no
is going to
map.
be?
Right.
But I will say 20 years ago, when the bond for the middle school was approved, the building committee at the time and the board, the school board, what we were approved to do, the building committee was approved to do, was show the 20 years of the bond payment. But what we did is we took like the 5-year average of what the evaluation has gone up over time. On average, say it's 2%, and then increase because your evaluation isn't going to stay the same as it is today. But that's what I would recommend us doing. But I don't know, again, how that legislation all fell and if it even was approved. So if we could just double check that. And
Right, because that's $5 today. It could be $2.50 next year, depending on how the revow goes. So
well, in the reval, we have no way of doing it.
Right, so
But we
that's-
just have to do the
base it on today's tax rate.
today's,
I
that's
think
all we
that's
can
the only
do.
thing you could do.
That's a hard sell.
But I would check, I would
Yeah.
go, okay, today's evaluation is 1.3
Yeah,
billion, whatever it is,
1.34.
and add 2%, or whatever the 5-year average has been, because we can only go back 5 years because the revals
I think
happen every 5
The
years.
last one was like 30%.
Next year. So.
Yeah, we're probably gonna jump like,
But again, I can't,
Epping went up like 70%.
I think he's already looking into it.
No.
No.
So, this year we have the RESS contract coming up. Came up, I should say. So we came up to a tentative agreement. Um, Some of the sections that, a lot of wording changes, not really any physical changes to money wise or anything like that, but Article 7, unity rights, basically what's already been done there. We've just put it just reworded it kind of and still in the contract. General conditions, how we give the contract agreements out to new employees and employees every year. They'll get a digital copy, hard copies at the schools and hard copies for anybody hired during the year. There is a new section on X 9, terms and conditions of employment. We have overnight trips, especially Nature's Classroom, DC, senior trips. Any paras going there?
Sorry, I do. So John, I have an email from John, I believe sent to Terry and I, sometime this afternoon, asking the increased cost for that, which we never calculated.
Which we don't really know because we don't know how many.
Okay,
We don't know how many are gonna be there.
okay. You got to that part and he's not here and I didn't want him to think I was ignoring his question. I didn't see it until I was here tonight with you guys.
Do you see some paras go, especially if they're one-on-ones,
Yeah,
and those kids go,
so. I mean. I don't know how we know from year to year those, I mean, that's a tough one to calculate because I just don't know who's gonna be there next year. If parents are gonna say, yes, I want my kid to go, I don't want my kid to go. It's just
Yeah.
I mean, nature's classroom, for the most part, everybody goes. DC is a little bit different. I'd say there's 30 or
More
40 kids
expensive.
that don't go. So. That one, I don't know if we can calculate, to be honest with you.
Okay.
I mean.
Where did the
calculate-
DC trip?
8.
Yes. Union rights, the internet acceptable use policy, expectations. 7B is the attend 2 AFT paraeducator seminars. Wording didn't really change there, it just says attend now. Just a couple wordsmithing on terms and conditions in section 9B. Notifications for if we have openings up in the district. We'll have 5 working days, used to be 10, so we'll be able to put those out there a little bit quicker than we used to the general public. The application process. Skip a section here. Nope, I didn't. Sorry. Some double times here, that's why it's screwing me up here. Oh, sorry, I did screw up here. So Article 12, paid leaves, as is basically the sick leave bank guidelines. We put that in there now. The board itself really doesn't have any involvement. The RESS's. They want it in there, so it is in. Article 11, terms and conditions of employment. It's basically changed where we're, like snow days and stuff. Radio doesn't really work anymore like it used to, so. And nobody sits there and listens to the radio until their name comes up an hour anymore, so.
And we're waiting for the name to scroll by and the bottom of channel 9 was a worker.
I was in Tewksbury, so I had to wait even longer.
There's a movement going up.
Oh, that's the last one there.
All morning.
All transplants from Massachusetts.
Article 11, you'll see this is actually, we'll be able to, if we can't find paraeducators right now with full-time, we're able to hire 2 part-timers, paraeducators. I mean, granted, we're pretty close to fully staffed now, but if we went and we do have parents in there that says, I can work from, 9 to 2, so 9 to noon time. In our mind, it's better to have somebody there. And then if we can fill that position later on, that's fine, but we'd rather have somebody there while we can. Article 11, for this is a new section, clothing and footwear allowance. After 90 days of employment for the custodians and the food staff, you can either buy a pair of boots once a year or a pair of non-slip shoes or whatever's required down in the cafeteria. We did this, a lot of the school districts now are doing this, a lot of your employees are doing this. It definitely helps us because we know they have the appropriate footwear, we know they can get the appropriate footwear. We'll give them a list of what we can help do. We'll also give them aprons and t-shirts. We'll have 5 aprons. We have places we can wash them in every school so they can, we'll hang them up and they can use them when they want to, or when they need to. We'll also give some logo shirts, t-shirts to them for the year. That way they're not loading their own clothes. Next up is,
And it's nice to have the staff identifiable, not uniforms, but something that says, okay, this guy works here.
Yep. Article 8, paid leaves. This kind of goes on, if you come into the district, you need to have your fingerprints done. You need to have background check, I think it is. So those things cost money, and for the most part, it's on the employee to pay for those. And we're making it now so we have money under the workshops and seminars that we've always put in there, they're able to access that money now to pay for those. And that stays at the same $7,000 a year that we've had. Again, kind of goes on a new section of the 5. We're gonna wordsmith that one a little bit better, I think. Discuss that with Terry tomorrow, Friday.
A lot of employers make their applicants pay for their own background checks. Like I've never seems kind of
One
nutty
of the
to me.
bigger companies, they do it themselves.
Yeah.
Just turn it in. I've never had to pay for background check.
That'd be crazy.
They do it. They have their own fingerprinting right there in the SAU.
I mean, we did look at the town to see about getting the digital fingerprint. I don't know if that was yet or not.
I think the police station does.
That was years ago because we would have, if we had career days, we could do the fingerprinting right there.
Hmm.
Granted, I will give it, it's not easy to get those digital fingerprint things going because you gotta put them the right way, you gotta do it again, because it's not inking, you have to re-ink yourself 17 times.
That's because yours comes up a little, you know.
Red flag.
Depends on what you're hiding, Joe.
Right, so that's here, my
Let me
fingerprint.
slow that down a little bit better again.
You get the police
Got
station,
one little mark off there.
you get the ink off.
So one of the biggest things is that certified paraeducators too, so we'd like to get paraeducators certified, and that costs more money too, so that's part of this as well. If you're not certified, little did I know, you can't sit there and actually, well, I forget exactly how they worded it, but you do something wrong as a paraeducator, you could go to another district, we can fire you. State would never know about it.
Because you don't have a rec, like a
Because you're not
file.
certified.
Yeah, you just,
So if you're certified with the state, we can sit there and that's one of your reprimands is that we let the state know what you've done.
You have to be certified. You have to just.
A little more skin in the game.
You
Well, hopefully figuratively, hopefully.
do not have to be certified to be a para. Get more money.
When hired, didn't have to have it when you were hired, but then as you work, you're supposed to be working towards getting.
Article 13, general leaves. This is basically, so if anything happens, you're getting paid what you should be getting paid. Yes. That's it in a nutshell on that one.
essentially will supplement, disability or, workman's comp or something like that.
However it works, whatever the statute is, we want exactly. That's a Karen thing that she knows much more about that than I will, so. But we're doing it the proper way, so they're getting paid what they need to get paid. They're out there. Next up is Article 14, vacations. Those haven't changed themselves, when you can take them has, so we make sure that they, can't take them the first week the school starts, last week the school ends. It was kind of worded where you, it's kind of a gray area before, so we kind of narrowed that down to, okay, you can take your vacations here, between this and this date. So. Of course, they can always take their, I believe paras can take their vacations during school vacations as well.
Yeah.
So there's ample amount of time.
Paras don't get vacation.
Yeah, not paras, sorry, full-time,
That's okay.
Sorry.
That's why I was like,
not paras, a full-time RESS.
Full-timers.
Insurance, that has not changed. Salaries, the longevity did go up and about from the 11 to 15 years, it went from 700 to 1,000, 16 to 19 years, 950 to 1,500, 20 to 24 years, 1,100 to 2,000, and 25 years plus from 1,500 to 2,500. Duration of the contract, 3-year contract. Salaries, we have a salary schedule here. This gets put up.
And that's a supporting document, so you want to read it out.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. Basically what we did is we added 50 cents to the top and bottom of every step. Made those, sorry, every category, and then put those in the steps. So the first year it was very difficult because we're going by where you are and how many years of experience that you have, and that's where the step you'd be in. We've had several instances where people would come into the district. They're a, brand new person. They're, making more money than somebody who's been here for 15 years. In my mind, that's not right if you're doing your job and you're doing it correctly. You should be paid the appropriate amount of your experience and when you've been. The only hurdle with that is that first year,
Level the playing field essentially.
yeah, to level the playing field, that first year, there's a big jump because we've had many people have many years of experience that are not getting paid what they should be getting paid. So that levels it out. So they will be in the appropriate spot of their level of experience. Now going forward, you'll see when I talk about the total, the amount of money that are being spent. It kind of evens out for the next couple of years. It's that initial first year where we basically had to pluck everybody where they belong. And it does become, kind of a burdensome task. Doing that in from taxpayers that first year. But going forward, this will definitely help the citizens of Raymond because they'll know, hey, we had 50 cents onto this, you get your steps, 50 cents. You'll know exactly what it is. Actually, it'll probably be around the same amount of money as years 2 and 3.
They're essentially all on the same scale now.
Correct.
They were all on old residual.
Yep.
It helps us keep a consistent mix too of people.
Well, again, if you have someone that comes in today and makes more money than someone's been here for 15 years, that creates a certain level of resentment right off the bat, and that's not.
We could lose
Yeah.
skilled, experienced people.
I'm gonna quit and get rehired to make more money, like that doesn't make sense.
So we have grades 1 through 6 now. 1 through 5 is where most of the people fall. Grade 6 was made specifically for it's an LPN?
LPN.
The LPN, because we did not have a specific grade that could appropriately get a salary. Not saying that this is appropriate, but at least we're on the right, we have a track now and we can follow it. If you look at it, we have 10 steps. And we have a top tier plus step. Basically, if you're on that top tier and you keep going forward, you're just not getting, because you kind of would get screwed if you went from, you're going a step and making an extra 50 cents on top of that because the categories expand. So that top step, you make a little bit more money too, because you can't go any further than the top step, some extra. So in total, for the first year, 26-27, it's $325,776, which would be a tax impact estimated at 24 cents per thousand. So just offhand, and I'm not too sure how the calculation is going to work, years 2 and 3, I guess would be approximately 12 cents a thousand.
I'm estimating there with you. My battery was about to die, so I'm charging the laptop.
Any questions, concerns, issues? I'll make a motion to accept the RESS contract as presented.
Second it.
Second by Beth, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? None? All right,
Thank you to
thank you,
Tony,
Joe.
Tony and Joe and
It was all.
Terry for their diligent work, and thank you to the RESS negotiating team.
Thank you, and just definitely thank you to the RES negotiating team. I think Tony was looking at doing a lot of. So
Yeah,
now that everything's passed, we can do that.
yes. Prematurely celebrate. Right,
I swear.
moving on. Warrant article review. So,
Tax impact wording, this has been brought up again. There's been discussion at previous board meetings regarding the wording of the tax impacts for our warrant article. And if the board would like to keep it the same as last year or change it, we have examples down here from 25, 24, and also a town sample ballot.
got a question. I thought last year we voted or at least agreed to change it, but we, one time, I guess, was too late.
No, we did change it
We
because
did?
it's worded here.
Yeah.
So that's, last year was worded in the operating budget. For example, the estimated tax impact of passing this article is $16.14 per $1,000 assessment, which is an increase from the previous year of $1.14 per $1,000 assessment. And then obviously the default is put in there also.
All right. I guess I
Because we used to just.
Not-
do-
There was much discussion about it.
Yeah, because I know that certain select board members are, again, requesting that it's the same. And again, we've gone through this as long as I've been on this board, is they do what they do, we do what we do. But I thought we had discussion about how the town lists the tax impact and we do the estimated increase
Correct.
and potentially doing both.
That's what we did last year. We did both.
But I don't think that's the way that it got printed on the ballot.
It is, because it's a sample balance.
Okay, so
Not on here.
I don't see that written on there.
Yeah, that's not on here.
Yeah, the one from March 11th, 2025, Article 2.
Yeah.
It's written at the bottom.
It does not.
See, March 11th, 2025. And then right here, it's the
Oh,
estimated
okay,
tax
yes, you're right.
impact.
So, all right then. I'm happy with that.
I got you there, Tony.
Does it really matter if we do it one way or the other? I don't know that this is,
The problem is that people that go vote apparently don't understand it or can't. One says one thing and the other says the other thing and then they get confused.
Yeah,
In
and
my mind, the increase is the way to go, because if I don't know the tax rate's already $5 and you tell me it's $5.70, that doesn't mean anything to me.
right,
But if you tell me it's going up 70 cents, that I can work with.
right. That's
I'll be honest, that's why when we had the discussion, I was in favor of adding the total, but
Not,
making sure to say this is an increase of this, so that people don't think, because I've had people ask me when I've been out holding my little campaign sign, geez, this is, the town side, it's like $5. Does that mean we're adding? No. It means, it's $5.14. They chose not to put what that is, the increase. I think for this is clearer because we're giving both pieces of information.
yes.
What it actually will be because of the operating budget, and then what is the increase or decrease?
All right then. So are we gonna continue to do it this way?
You can't be much clearer than what this says.
Really? I mean, there's no way around it.
I wouldn't want to
Can't
put
misunderstand.
just the total, but the total with the increase.
So use the same wording as last year. Is everybody
Yeah, I would prefer to have both.
think Joe has?
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at what we came up for next year. And I just like the overall increase. Because one thing I hate, I mean, with the default budget, it's easy. You can sit there and say, we get this, or we get that. And you can see the tax impact because it's dollar amounts in there. When you're looking at a dollar amount for capital reserves fund, and what I have written, 26, they only have right now, tax an increase of 4 cents per thousand. We haven't put the other wording in there yet. Because it's more than just a tax impact if you don't pass this. It's, an impact on your CIP down the road, which that's many times already short funded on. And I think when people look at it going, well, I'm gonna save myself 40 cents. Yeah, well, when I'm 65, now you're gonna have to pay, 90 cents because everything just tripled and we can't afford it. 15 years ago, you have to pay for it now instead of that.
Well, the ones we used where, for example, last year we did the 450.
Right.
From the unreserved fund balance. What is worded there is no additional tax impact.
Right.
So that nobody can misconstrue that it's going to, even though it says raise and appropriate, we're not adding to your tax burden this year. We're using last year's to payment.
Well, that's another argument you should be prepared to have.
Well, that's fine, but
Because-
whose choice is it?
It's our choice. But again, it's,
I mean,
that was a discussion that I had the other night of, there's an argument made by one of the selectmen that, there is a tax impact because if you don't vote for it, your taxes go down, but
No,
that's
that doesn't mean that.
disingenuous, yeah.
Yeah,
Because
it's not-
the wording, no additional tax impact covers it, mine.
Right, because that's a misnomer to say that your taxes will go down.
Right.
Because this year, for example, if status quo, we won't be getting this warrant article wouldn't be funded if it was this year and it ended today. So you can't say that your taxes would be reduced. That's not the case.
Because there
Because
might
we'd
not
be
be money.
spending it. So that's a misnomer. So for me, the cleanest thing is what we've been doing. I agree. So, but again, people are gonna disagree, which is fine.
Well, and the town last year also listed all of their warrant articles with no additional tax impact because they took money out of the reserve fund.
All the fund balance.
Like we do.
Right. So, but they listed a bunch of warrant articles and didn't say you could have gotten money back. They just said no additional fund, no additional tax impact, instead of saying we're taking money out of the fund balance for this and you could have gotten money back.
No,
Which-
that was the underlying message from some people. That was the campaign that was.
Right. I'm just saying.
To say, if you don't vote for this, you get money back. But the town, I don't believe, that goes back just to the unassigned fund balance. It doesn't, like, our money goes back to the taxpayer.
Right.
Typically, the town, if it keeps money, it just goes into, with the rest of the money that it saves. It
Theoretically,
doesn't go
our unassigned
reduce the
fund
tax.
balance can only be a certain size for the town. It shouldn't continuously grow.
Not an argument I want to have here, but.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
It's not a bad thing to have more money in that account. I'm just.
No, all I'm saying is the wording should follow the patterns of the way everyone's handling. it. That's all.
I would ask,
Consistency.
if we keep it the same way, I would ask to do it opposite way. Put down what the tax increase is with the warrant article, and then put the estimated tax impact from the warrant article as approximately 40 something.
Not have it worded the way it is for, like, because that's kind of what threw me off is the long wording. If it was.
So I don't mind the long wording, but just do it opposite.
You want to do the increase first and then the total second?
Right.
I think that would be misleading.
Well, because we're telling them how much increases first.
I think the way it was done last year is much cleaner. I don't, because I think if we start now, I think it's gonna be even more convoluted than the whole thing is.
Yeah, I mean,
I think if
This
this
is
is
probably
probably
the cleanest
the way it was. Well, granted, it was for 1 year, but I think that's the best that we've come up with.
My biggest suggestion would be in the printing, and I don't know if we have any control over that, because I think having them jammed right on top of each other makes that it's very dense. I think they should be spaced. I don't care if it goes first or last. I see what you're saying too, Joe, but I think the most important thing is both things are there.
Wait till we put our proficiency scores on there, which are required now by law.
and administrator salary, you know,
That's on a sheet somewhere.
Proficiency scores are.
Designed
On the warrant article.
very specific, layout.
You mean like our math and our reading proficiencies have to go on the warrant article?
It's a voting place, I believe, for town meeting.
Posted in 3 spots. Salaries.
So when we see it at voting day, it will have proficiencies.
For which grade? The whole school?
Old school.
Is it district or is it just?
I gotta figure it, I gotta read it. I don't know.
You remember?
There's no proficiency score for high school, so I'm assuming it's.
Well, it's SAT.
Yeah, so yeah.
That's a suck way to do
Wait,
it.
A
so
lot, there's a lot of new stuff that we have.
And that's why I wanted to make sure we look into the.
So
the
if
RSS.
if we're average for the SAT, does that mean we're 100% proficient? I mean, how the heck does that work?
This is just a attempt by,
I'm standing on my
State too.
soapbox, so I'll just.
just cast another, gray cloud over public schools and
yeah, I'll be interested once they start putting out the numbers again for the voucher program, because apparently they're not publishing any numbers anymore.
Because it hasn't been looked at in a year.
Oh, it's $50 million in the wind, so I'd like to know what happened with
million.
$50 million in the wind.
that much.
What are we gonna do here? Tony, do you want us to make a motion to do one way or the other?
I mean,
We can't do it as presented because they weren't presented that way.
I didn't say it was. What I would say is I would use,
refer to that.
I think we refer to last year's warrant and use the last year's warrant wording for the tax impact.
Yeah, I mean, I would agree with that. So if we need to make a motion, we can make a motion.
Are we also looking at, because there's a couple different links, there's a draft, and then there's the tax impact wording listed below. Are we looking at the articles themselves tonight, or just the tax impact wording part of the articles?
We
Because
have
the
to do
warrant
both
article,
things.
You have to
Okay.
figure out what the wording to be, then we have to figure out the order that you want on the ballot.
Okay.
I'm gonna make a motion to move things around. I'm gonna make a motion that we use the wording from the 25 warrant for tax impact, the wording we used that year. I don't know how,
Works for me.
Yep,
Just
fine.
roll it over.
We got it.
and then if you get a second.
I'll second. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? None. Thank you. So now we, discussing the order of the CR.
Order of the capital reserve funds warrant articles. We have 2 warrant articles for funding capital reserve funds from the surplus, currently numbers 6 to 7 on the draft warrant. Attorney Graham's advice regarding how these warrant articles are ordered on the warrant was if there is more than one article to take money from surplus and assign it to a capital reserve fund, the Department of Revenue Administration will continue to fund the articles from surplus in the order in which they appear in the school district's warrant/ballot until the total amount of the surplus has been expended. At this time, the board may decide how they would like to order these articles on the warrant.
Last year's warrant articles. I don't.
Did this. I would say we flip the order. That's just because it's more likely we'll at least get something in both of them, but the smaller one first.
Smaller one. The school?
The elementary school.
John?
Yeah, I'm gonna differ. So I'm gonna make a motion to move things along so that we can get this done.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion that we keep the order of the capital reserve funds as presented. So the maintenance and facilities, 450 would be first. The establishment of the elementary school capital reserve fund would be second.
I'll second.
And the reason I prefer that is I think the 450 at this point is much more important to us long-term to keep that fully funded. If we have, I don't think we're going to fully fund the $40 million building through capital reserve. And when we know we're going to have to bond. So if we come up short, we'll have to bond a little more. Is that ideal? No, but
You don't think we have 160 years to do this?
well, that's assuming we don't add a couple dollars along the way.
Yeah.
So, but yes.
I mean, I've been eating vegetables.
I would keep it the same way, just for the sheer factor is and it was a much closer vote last year for the CIP, for the CRFs, than it has been in previous years. I think it was the closest I think I've seen it.
There's an active campaign against our capital reserve funds last year.
Which doesn't make any sense because I could have swore everybody was like.
It spent the whole year telling us we need to fund our capital reserves and then want everybody to vote against it.
Campaigned
Yeah,
against-
it's like,
Yeah.
okay.
So I mean, and the reason, that's the reason why I would keep it, because if we don't get one, we definitely need the other. Not saying that we're gonna have even close to that and.
Yeah.
In the end of the year, so stop, so.
It was just a thought, but to John's point, it's gonna take forever to do if we do it that way. So I'm fine.
I mean, it's our attempt to help the cause. But
Right.
again, it's not,
But I
we're not
don't
gonna
wanna-
fund it by doing that.
Yeah, but to your point, if we don't get the initial one, then this would be at least some way to fund some of it.
My only concern is that we're not funding any special education reserve funds or emergency costs like.
That's at 300,000 memory. And we also have the contingency fund at 2.5% with ballpark 450,000.
Okay, because we just sat here an hour ago talking about if 2 kids move into town and we gotta send them
Well,
out.
that's what I did
That's
say.
gonna cripple us.
But
Yeah.
that's where I said, we do have contingencies. I prefer not to use them,
But if we have to,
but we have to, we do
Right.
have them that voters have approved
Okay.
for that specific special education.
We know.
Take the poll.
Okay,
Take the
vote.
vote.
Okay. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, none? Moving right along. We have policies,
Technology.
technology update.
I have a
Um,
touchscreen, that's my technology update.
I haven't checked mine. I haven't turned that thing on in 2 years.
Matt has provided his technology update. This is for information. Please review it. If you have any questions or anything, please let me know.
Yeah, if in the future, if, as opposed to bullets, if we could have more verbiage backing up things, for example, there's a Falcon something I have no idea what he's talking about.
Oh, yeah, this would be okay if you were sitting here pointing
Right.
the bullet points, right, but a
But
little
if
bit
we-
more.
if we're not gonna get
Some more
that,
support.
we
I need
need,
full sentences.
well, even if it's bullets, but explaining whatever way they want to get there, you know, even this will impact all the departments except the principals, so we need to,
Falcon Crouch, like it's a security software.
thank you.
But yeah, it would be good to have, maybe you could throw links in here to different documents too, because
Does that come with Hidden Tiger software too?
Crouching Tigers, yes.
Thank you for that.
Good job, Terry.
Harry, you got him the touchscreen, didn't you?
Exactly. Yeah.
New revised policies first reading.
There you go. See this, John?
Yeah, John's on the last couple.
I'll do it. I have no problem.
All right, you guys can decide that. once you-
Exactly. This is, policy excuse me, is it F?
FEH.
Sorry, FEH. Supervision of construction. This is proposed policy from the board in its entirety. There were some statutes, laws that were enacted. Changed some statutes regarding hiring project managers. We had, for example, a clerk of the works. This is the same type of thing. And, when we did the middle school, the district hired a clerk of the work. And it's in your best interest to do so because that was like a $14 million project and you have somebody there to on a daily basis, watching, making sure that the contractor is doing what they're supposed to do. And
Terry
within
can't,
code.
Terry can't do that if he's collecting lunch money.
That's right. Not if he's at the
Right.
Rockingham. Ready to go to the next one?
Yep.
Policy GBEBB, Employee Student Relations. This has been revised to match New Hampshire School Board's sample policy. And again, updated to reflect enactments of, laws that were enacted. In this case, HB 231, that codified RSA 186, 11, 9F. Prohibit staff from transporting students. That's that one. The next one, if we're ready, is KFD, use and location of automated external defibrillators, excuse me. This has been revised and recoded. And again, this policy represents the sample policy in its entirety. Again, another law change, or statute or law, I guess. I don't know if it's statute has been revised statute, really.
Are we in
Mandate.
compliance?
In certain locations, clarifying training provisions. I believe when we had the conversation, we are, Terry, right? Yeah. So that's that one. Nothing else on those. If you ready for the second one?
Yes, sir.
You want me to go?
Yeah.
No changes. Thought I did. I'll make a motion for policy EHAG to approve policy EHAG.
All right, second by Steve. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
Next one is to rescind policy EHB-R. Make a motion to rescind policy EHB-R.
By Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next up is KG, memorials and plaques. I'll make a motion that we approve policy KG.
Second by Joe, discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Last, KHB, advertising in schools. Make a motion to approve policy KHB.
Second. Second by Joe.
Up this try, man. Let her in.
Discussion.
Aye.
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 I waited for the pause up first. Nobody said anything, so I fucking didn't know it again.
I thought, geez, there was last time, there was like three of them going.
Right, donation acceptance.
Yeah, I was kind of floored by this. Jeremy came and saw me. Shoot back machine for the Raymond High School basketball program. It's a value is at $10,600 from an anonymous donation. We are pleased to share that an anonymous donor has generously offered to purchase a shoot back machine for the Raymond High School boys and girls basketball programs. The cost of this machine is $10,600. The donor has found a great deal and the price is $7,600. This contribution represents a tremendous investment in the development of our student athletes, providing both teams with a high-quality training tool that will enhance shooting consistency, support skill development, and elevate the overall efficiency of our practices. We are deeply grateful for this act of support and confidence, and its confidence it reflects on our programs, coaches, and athletes. This donation will have a lasting impact on our basketball community and will be appreciated for years to come. Jennifer, I am well impressed that you wrote that.
Right.
I'll make a motion that we accept the donation of a shoot back machine for the Raymond High School basketball programs.
Second.
I would just ask that we, even though it's anonymous, somebody knows
We know.
where it came from. We
Absolutely.
could make sure we send them a
Yeah,
letter.
absolutely.
Thank you to Anonymous.
Thank you for the anonymous donation.
Let's
Dollar value for that or?
Do we have to have a dollar value?
Yeah, like up
assigned
to
it?
or like,
Because we just approved it, so I don't think we do, but
Because it's an actual device, right? We're not taking money, we're taking a,
but it's got a value to it.
You can say a value of ten.
Because if they were just giving us a device and not money, we could just take the machine and
well,
not accept
then
it.
I would say, okay, 7,600 is paid.
I just feel like that'd be cleaner to have the value in there.
You okay with that, Beth?
All right, you're good. Discussion? All those in favor? All
Aye.
right, thank you very much.
Awesome.
Nomination?
Nominations, yes.
I've got one nomination. We have Maria. Mess this up. I'm gonna say Gilbo.
Debo?
Huh?
Debo?
Okay.
You just start,
Teacher at the middle school. What's that?
start spelling these names.
Oh, math, teacher at the middle school.
Trying to do this fast. I'll make a motion to accept the nomination of Marie Gaboo.
Close enough.
What?
Second.
Debo?
yeah, put a little accent on it. It'll be fine. It's okay with me.
All right. Joe second.
Doing my
seconded.
best.
I second.
Steve second. All right. Discussion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Next, committee reports.
Again, aye.
Sean?
Okay, building committee. I don't know if I misunderstood or I just flat didn't understand what was going on, whatever. But anyways, the proposed building that we're looking at this point is a 3-story building with a 1-story gymnasium area, cafeteria, library, and administration area. And last time when I spoke about it, I had said the first floor or the lowest level would be below grade of the administrative area, which is the gym and area and such. However, the latest we're going by is it's 7 feet below. And I'll explain. And that means what I would call the second floor would be 7 feet above that. And the reason is that's the elevation change that we have in that area where we're putting the building, that 7-foot drop.
Minimal alteration that. would-
Well, we're to the left. Now, I'm not saying exclusively, but that driveway that you cross coming from the safety complex,
Mhm.
the first entrance we have, that entrance is pretty much staying, or that driveway is pretty much staying in that general vicinity, if not
First roundabout in.
the first
The
one
long one
coming
into
from
drop
the
off.
safety complex. So it goes into the big parking lot.
The drop off.
Oh, oh, oh.
the one you-
Yeah, the big one. Okay.
And we're going to the left of that driveway with a new building so that we're staying out of
High
the,
ground, yeah.
staying out of the, or the 100-year flood zone. And the change of elevation, it's higher out toward the road. As you go back, it's a little, so I just wanted to correct that there's a 7 feet transition. So what will happen is when you come in the main entrance, you'll go down 7 feet to the lowest level or 7 feet up to the second level. And then the third level obviously is then up 14 feet.
So it's kind of gonna be like high school here, we have a.
multiple, yeah, it would be where we have multiple
Ground floors.
ground levels, and that's how we're working with. The lowest level would be pre-K and K.
Yep.
And there, that meets that. The first and second grade is actually at a different grade. And the highest level obviously is you gotta come down 2.5 flights of stairs, or 1.5 flights of stairs to get down to the main level of the administrative and gym and everything.
I just thought you gotta tell me the, gymnasium was on the first floor, the, basketball courts, the, volleyball courts were on the second floor, and the
No,
swimming pool was on the third.
no, I'm not mentioning anything like that, because
Swimming pool's always on the.
Swimming pool's always on the third
Oh,
floor.
it's on the roof.
Swimming pool's gonna be in the old building.
and the, other- excuse me, the other thing is we've we're gonna be adding, or we've came up with 3 frequently asked questions, and we're going to be adding to that over the next coming meetings. So I spoke to Jen earlier this week, and in the near future, that the website, again, rsdbuild.com is the website for the elementary, or the elementary school building committee. And those will be there soon. And we have a meeting, next meeting is January 5th to go over things, and then we meet with the architect on January 12th again.
So looking at the smaller footprint, I guess you could say, with the 3 stories, I'm guessing it's gonna, that minimizes a cost increase for, siding, the roof and all that stuff, since you're looking at 3 stories up instead of, one big.
Yeah, I don't know all the, but in theory, it reduces it because of those issues. Obviously, you have to have bigger footings, I presume, because you have 3 stories as opposed to, 2 stories or whatever. But again, it just, you don't have as much of it, right? So that's what we're going by, to try to keep ourselves one in the non-flood zone of that property. And also just what we felt was more efficient use of the building, because in essence, you could look at it. It will be like the middle school in that one floor looks like the next, that looks like the next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you're done, sorry.
I have one more committee
Okay.
report to go. The Bud Comp, and I can't remember where we last laughed, so I'll just update as best I can. We've had the town present their operating budget. They're scheduled to present their warrant articles tomorrow night. The school has presented our budget and all our warrant articles monetary, except for the RESS that we just approved tonight. And Terry will be going, and he's leading us off tomorrow night budget committee with that warrant article. I don't know. We approved default. I don't know when we're gonna get that to the budget committee, but that's another discussion. So that's where I'm at. Thank you.
I was just gonna add, so I talked to one of the other folks on the building committee, and he pointed out something that I guess came up during your meeting that I think is good for folks to hear too, that apparently the funding, the list for funding in New Hampshire dropped from 14 schools down to 4 because 10 schools either backed out or weren't prepared. And so all the work that we've been doing, having the architect, all the work you guys are doing, I think it's important to
When we
show.
threw away.
I think it's just important to show that being prepared, if and when this funding comes back, is our best weapon to hopefully get this thing funded by the state if it ever actually comes back the way it is. But I just want to point out that you guys, the work you guys are doing is gonna make us one of those 4 prepared schools when it comes around.
Yeah, and just to piggyback on what Steve had mentioned, this $50 million last time it was available. Who knows what it will be, when it will be, if it will be.
Right.
Right. But if it's still 50, the way Kyle Barker explained was it estimating there'll probably be about $20 million from left over from the 3 that are already there, or the 4, excuse me. And he's not sure how many of them are going to be going forward. One of them was like for $750,000, so not a big ticket item. But so there'd be about $20 million left, which is about the area where we're looking for close to that number in, state funding,
No.
building aid,
Do you
depending
know,
on where we end up on a number.
do you know if the first three schools, if there's only like 12 million left, would that carry over to next year? Hypothetically, or?
I don't remember how that works. I know it's been discussed about what it does, but
Well, that changes things quite a bit.
yeah, Concord is one of them ones. I don't want to misquote the others, so I don't remember. It was a small one, but but anyways.
All right. Any other committee reports?
Did have a meeting for the Raymond Coalition for Youth. I was not able to make it. So
All right.
capital improvement plan, not really sure what's going on with that.
So we got a letter.
I got a letter. We were supposed to look at the letter and make recommendations. It all looked okay to me.
And was that for the town warrant? I mean, the town, report?
Yeah, Doug and Ryan came up with a report. I think Doug came up with a report and Ryan made some edits, but
No, I'm
Yeah.
just trying to understand what it was. I think that happened, the same thing happened last year.
And how to edit something when you're not in a meeting to edit it with the rest of the people. But
Yeah. There was no edit for the rest of us.
Beth, you had the wellness committee?
We covered that last time.
Oh, did you?
Nice
Okay.
try. You're supposed to be going home.
I thought we had it last week.
No.
there was supposed to be a wellness one. I-
Or was 2 weeks ago? Good job.
Yeah, he was sick, so. Yeah.
I was on it a
Did a
little
nice
late
job.
and it was, people were already off, so it didn't last too long.
Like, there's not much to say about it, but.
All right, superintendent report.
Our biomass boiler, I think, is pretty much online now. Kudos to Todd, Chuck, Chris and Ken and the, engineers from Froiling. We did have some hiccups early on. But now when I roll in, it's like white smoke, wakes the morning, and so I'm very happy. Sports are up and running. I've attended, another, professional development on open enrollment. I just think that it's gonna wind up in a lot of
Disaster.
drama.
Yeah.
Trying to figure out from people trying to say no means no to setting limits to how many people will let in and out. I think that the legislature is gonna have to, the courts are gonna have to clean this up to get a more defined, it's what it is.
You mean the courts that they don't listen to?
Yeah, but someone's gonna have to figure this out.
It's the people that are making these laws don't listen to anybody either, because I don't know, a lot of people, the idea is, oh, it's competition is gonna create better schools. Like, no, you're just taking funding from schools and creating worse schools.
It's working well for the healthcare system.
Yeah.
One of the,
Anytime the government gets involved.
one of the things that was like, athletes traveling together. They're worried about that now. You get 5 or 6 kids playing on the sports, what's over behind me, soccer. And then they're gonna decide to go to some school and play soccer with that. So they're gonna have to figure out another niche that's gonna come up out of this. Also got a new technical advisory on the new law for parents' rights in the videotaping. We're gonna have to take a look at our policies, clean that up, change how our registration is done.
Opt in now, right? Like,
Well, you're gonna have to have a signature. It's more like you're gonna, so it's opt in now. You have to sign to say that on our thing, you check a box that says, yes, you are allowed to, or no. If you don't respond, it's nothing. So now they're actually gonna have to put a signature. So we're thinking that,
I know that we kind of had a little discussion about this before about like even sports events and stuff, as we're gonna have to put something in the paperwork that you sign to
Yep.
do that.
If you're gonna-
As you will potentially be on television.
Yep.
And this is just the way it is.
I
I'm
mean,
not gonna pixelate one player on the soccer field.
Yeah.
no,
Like, how would we, but if someone doesn't want to be on TV, how do we do that? Then, well,
How can we stop Channel 9?
well, so here we go again. We can't, again, Kevin, and then the lawyers basically said that we would have to, they're gonna have to have permission to be on RCTV. But however, a parent can walk in,
football field is a public place.
Yeah.
this is not.
Right.
The school is not.
Mhm.
So if we're having a concert here, according to our lawyer, we're gonna have to have permission because it is a government functioned entity. So we're gonna have to clean that up. But once again, I can't stop a parent from filming. I can't stop that. But you're right, if we film a basketball team, even for not even broadcast, but for to use it as a teaching moment, you know, you film a game, you sit down, everyone's gonna have to abide by it. If they don't, then we won't be able to film.
So if one person says you can't film, you ain't watching the basketball game that week from your home.
In a nutshell, Joe, yes.
Unless you go there and FaceTime, you know, Facebook Live it.
We televise some of our games in high school.
Not
No.
typically.
Not often.
John?
That happens, yeah.
But what about graduation?
New Hampshire School Board Association sent out the technical
Yeah.
advisory. One of the things they say is, well, the technical advisory is explicit on the prohibition against recording students absent parent consent. The tentative, or the TA, technical advisory, I guess, does not address questions such as recording of school board meetings. If students do a presentation, just like we did tonight.
Yep.
Recording of board meetings when the school board has a student representative. And whether or not the school district can blur or obscure student faces and identities.
Yep.
Just things that
Yeah, it's,
the law wasn't clear.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
now courts are gonna have to clear it up.
Yep.
I use clear because I don't want to blur it.
yeah, so our biggest concern, it sounds really silly, is not silly, it should be silly, our concerts. Because typically we will have students in that concert who do not give us permission.
But we often ask RCTV to record
Yeah.
them, and we might have to stop that.
So like tomorrow night's school concert, if we wanted to have RCTV put it on, well, RCTV. At this point,
Well, I don't think it's in effect yet, right?
Usually chase the kids down to get permission, or we call the parents.
And then those
Has
kids,
to be more cleaner.
those kids sit on the edge of the stage so we can zoom in.
I mean, we really gotta start sending out bulletins about some of the stupid crap that we have to do.
No, you gotta elect better state reps is what you gotta do, because they're the ones that
Yeah,
vote
I'll
for
put
this
their
shit.
name on the freaking thing. I
They
don't
vote for this
care.
crap.
Because it's getting ridiculous. They have more stuff that they vote for, that they don't look 5 feet past their nose to sit there and see the repercussions of what's going to happen. And then we have to deal with the shit. Excuse my language.
I lecture like I use Steve every once in a while.
Well, I'm getting sick.
What does it mean?
and tired of it. You know, it's either with the budget or, you know, with mandates. And now it's with students that you can't use, public TV that they'll watch the public show, which I don't know how many parents have scolded us that, why don't you tell RCTV so we can film this, so we can watch it at home, because grandma or grandpa, or they can watch it online now and stuff like that through RCTV.
and then what happens if we have at the concert, if we have a kid who's in the band, but they don't want to be filmed,
And everybody else.
and nobody gets filmed, or
Yeah.
that kid has to
He
leave,
gets filmed.
or that kid has to leave the band. Like,
Kind of-
if you're gonna make a choice that impacts a lot of other kids,
Yeah.
I think there's gotta be some options for the rest of the kids who want this.
We can put a mask.
Yeah.
Terry? The state puts this out, the technical advisory, correct? But yet they don't answer all the unanswered questions.
I ask questions, and I was told to talk to my legal counsel. I ask specific questions like that.
I guess I'll follow up. Why don't the state, this is the Department of Education, I'm assuming this,
Mhm.
so. Doesn't there a Department of Justice up there someplace?
Yep.
Why aren't they communicating? Because here, and this often happens with these technical advisories, oh, well, there's some open questions.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna, it's up to us, check legal, and now we're on the hook to, hopefully, we're not the one, the guinea pig on the
I
lawsuit.
can guarantee you that our legal counsel and someone else's legal counsel will all have different opinions on
I know
it.
what I was gonna say, just stop
They
filming,
usually do.
stop filming everything. That's what our legal will
Yeah.
say. Stop recording
Oftentimes,
everything.
not always, but oftentimes, yeah. And that's I guess that's obviously, these technical advisories come out and you see them whenever they come
Yep.
out. But when I've seen them, they're often, like I said, why can't they just talk to people down the street?
Yeah,
Tell me what to do and I will be more than happy to do it.
I'm just.
I just like, it just makes my life so much easier. I may not agree with it, but at least I know what I'm supposed to do. And again, it's very vague. And again, I'm like, so, okay, what do we have to do here? Oh, now how do I do this in the middle of the year? Or am I gonna have send out a brand new
Yeah, well,
You know,
we in violation
Yeah.
tonight.
Yeah, could have been, you know, maybe the parents are walking in with their child, so they know they're on TV, you know, it's a little bit different.
They're an
They might
implied consent.
They might not.
And they're
Yeah,
you know,
filming them,
they
they
might
share them
not
on
know,
Facebook.
So again,
A technical advisory, is that, because to me, that sounds very sort of suggestion based, but
Recommendation, right?
is it a recommendation or is it a new law?
oh, it's a law.
It's a law.
Okay, so-
They're telling
Me that this is how, this is their interpretation to enforce this law.
That's right.
Which is very still somewhat vague.
That's where, but again, as they say, we're not giving you an answer on these things. They don't come out.
So the school board association does an interpretation and
No,
sends
no,
out.
No.
This
We
is.
got a technical advisor from the DOE. Then from the DOE, the school board associations decided to
Information. I don't.
weigh in. And before I even got a weigh in from the school board association, I had questions and I reached out to our legal representation
Okay,
and they came back with this. I'm like, okay, so now I had to go back and read the TA again to say, does it every single time? Is it so our list of instances where an individual might be broadcast is going to have to be much more definitive. Instead
does
of,
that include students in the stands for a game?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's.
Like if, because my
That's where
daughter went to a
Terry,
basketball game tonight, and if every kid on the court decided, yeah, we want to be filmed, but there's one kid sitting next to my kid who doesn't want to be filmed,
I would draw the line at participants. If you're there on the crowd, you're there on your own accord.
well, do we have to post something? Hey, you are going to be on camera if you stay? Like, there's a lot.
Big camera at the top of the
That might
bleacher
be a
would
reach.
indicate that.
Yeah, there's just a
But
lot
again,
of stupidity in there.
It's just, yeah.
Sorry, that's just
Anyway,
frustrating.
So then we stop recording everything and people say, why don't you show that? Say, talk to your state reps and your state senator.
Well, yeah, and that's
They're the ones that made that decision for you.
Is that the federal DOE or the
no,
state
no, that's the
DOE?
people, those are the four people that came in. That did us.
Murphy, Mike Drago, Brian Nadeau and Cindy
But you
Bennett.
said the TA came down from the DOE, federal,
New Hampshire- New
No,
Hampshire
no,
DOE.
state.
state level.
Yeah, it's all, this is all state
there is no more federal DOE.
in essence. Sort of, kind of.
We'll have to
We're gonna
see.
give you one of these,
Hybrid.
Terry.
Curious to see if our reps supported that.
I guarantee you one of them did.
I'm not gonna make
Anyways,
any
anything
guarantees
else
or
from-
assumptions, but
I
easy enough to find out.
think I'm good. Trying to wrap it up.
Yes.
Correspondence or other. All right. Manifest signing.
Payables tonight, $839,720.64. Payroll, $554,090.15. For a grand total of $1,393,810.79. All signed. Thank you.
All right. Approval of minutes.
Make a motion to approve the minutes of October 28th, 2025.
Second.
By John, discussion. Was I here for that one? Yes.
Thank you.
Did I come in late?
28th.
You-
No.
2 nights in a row.
Monday night, you weren't able to attend.
Yeah, was that the water meeting?
I think so.
Yeah,
Something, I don't know what you had, but you had, so you were in spirit in the building.
it just has the four of us on here.
Yeah, all right, so. Okay. So we get a second?
Yes.
I
just
All right, second by John. All those in favor?
Aye.
I abstain.
Make
I'll
a
make-
mo-
Go
okay.
ahead, go ahead.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes for October 29th, 2025.
Second.
Second by John. Discussion? All those in favor? Aye.
Terry, the non-public, are we okay? Which I think we need to keep them sealed.
On public what day? November 5th?
So.
And
Oh, yeah.
one's been unsealed.
Well,
Yeah, but for now. And the other one, my aunt. Oh, yeah, sealed up.
Both.
I'll make a motion, we approve non-public minutes of November 5th, 2025,
Keep them sealed.
and keep them sealed. I don't know.
Second.
Second by Steve. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye. Make a motion, we approve the minutes of November 19th, 2025.
Second.
Second by Steve. Discussion. All those in favor? Aye.
I do have a question. On December 3rd, 2025, there are, the names aren't listed.
Correct.
Jennifer had said that she would add them at a later date. We approve them as is, or do we need to wait until the names are added?
I think it's fine just adding the names later. Approving as is, and then she can add the names. Or would you?
Say approving as the students' names will be added later. I'd be okay with that.
We can wait. I mean, if we want a bit safe, we can wait. Let's wait.
More.
Let's wait. Let's just do it
I think
right.
that's safer.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to go into non-public under RSA 91A 32C.
Second.
Second by John. Discussion. Steve?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Myself, yes. Beth? Joe?
Yes.
Was I not?
I was here for that day.
I remember